Hi, everybody. Fancy seeing you guys here. Um, late and Ricada, well, maybe partially. Like the late part, yes, but you know, as time goes on, the other part, not so much. Jim said in the chat, you told your Philly something that makes you look bad, but I couldn't figure it out. Girly drinks? I don't know. I do a lot of cringe stuff. So that's the thing. Like, it doesn't, I don't really know. Like, that's the thing. Like, what do I do that makes me look bad? Existing makes me look bad. I'm me. That's how I look bad, chat. So that doesn't help too much. I'm gonna be honest with you, like guys. Like, we're gonna have some girl talk here. Like, what do I need to fix? A lot of things. So, a man says that tie. What's wrong with this tie? I like the tie. There's like, that's what I was gonna say. I you can call me a, that's what you're gonna call me a homo for, I guess. Then whatever. But I enjoy that. So. Did my stream start mid-sentence? I waited till it actually said, like, you're live. So I don't know what happened there. Hold on one second, guys. Yeah. Oh, guys, I forgot to get locals going here. Give me 1 second. I forgot to... I said I'd set you guys up a thing for tonight, so hold on here. Okay. I'm gonna set you guys up here. So I know you guys really want it. There we go. Okay, guys, it's up now for you. So enjoy yourselves. But yeah, it's been a long day. It's been a very fun day. Why aren't you comfy? I assume it's a Lasha. You're so serious. No, it's been a long day. Got a lot done. Just haven't had the chance to really get things sorted out, and went straight from doing the lawyer stuff to doing this. It's all good. It's fun. I enjoy it. Just haven't had a chance to, change, but that's okay. That happens. So no, I'm comfy. I'm fine like this. What am I gonna do with that cord?
There you are.
Oh, hold on 1 second.
I didn't know where he was.
Oh no, he's right here. He's been here.
Okay, good boy.
So, no, she was checking on Clyde because Clyde was not going back to her. The tie matches the purse. Like, how'd you know? How'd you know? Would have laughed if I just popped off a clip-on tie. That would be hilarious if I did. Yeah, I don't know. This is a really nice tie, though. I don't know if there would be a way to make like a clip-on version of this. I would still do it just to fuck with you guys. The first fix, take the tie off. No. I had it on already so far, so I'm leaving it alone. What am I drinking? I'm drinking it's iced tea. It's unsweetened iced tea. Just that'd be good tonight to have that. So nothing special in it. Nothing special. Although who knows? You guys know there's ways you could change that, but I might have a little bit of things in that, but not yet. Not yet. What are you guys? Yes, Gorilla Grip Pussy Pal. Yep. Just like gotta grip that. Gotta grip it. Yeah, that's apparently Hannah Reed's that's her sign-in name on her iPhone. Gorilla Grip Pussy Pal. Which you guys have to be careful about that. When you are doing things with your phones and things you do online, just like Kyle Rittenhouse, 4 doors more whores. Just like Thomas Binger and Kyle Rittenhouse's trial being Fluffer Boy 2004 at yahoo.com. You have to be very careful. Same thing if you were gonna have like you go on a website and you pick some really offensive or ridiculous screen name. You got to be careful because you never know when that may come back to haunt you. So just be very, very careful about that. And I will say, going back to the beginning, Stacy, you were first, and I want to congratulate you on being first. Congratulations to that. That's always critical to be first. Because if you're not first, I mean, what good is it? So we have a lot of things to talk about tonight. Fani Willis. Oh boy. Sounds like she might be screwed really bad, really bad, really bad. We also have a lady who goes to Russia and, well, I mean, she does some dumb shit. I mean, it's up there with taking marijuana across the border. It's up there. It's actually it's probably even worse because it's like you definitely know what you're doing. But I don't know. Well, we'll get to that. We also have a cop on cop violence, which is always fun to see, and just some other funnier things that are out there, and then a couple of sad things. And it's just one of them is that 2 people died, and it's really disgusting how one person died and nobody cares. And I think we'll leave it at that. Some of you probably know what I'm talking about, but yeah, 2 people died and nobody gives a shit about the one person who did, like one of the people who died. And for them, truly, they did nothing wrong, and yet the other person who died is lauded as a hero, and it's entirely their fault. So I'm gonna give people a couple more minutes. I know there's a million people doing everything tonight, so we're gonna give it a couple minutes. Unhung Hero for $2 though said, "Oh, I'm gonna come." Well, don't come. Don't come. Yeah, I know it said the 24th. I don't know why it did, because I refreshed it and it says the 23rd now. Yeah, guys, I went on with Jeff. Like I said, I felt really bad. I wasn't able to make it to his morning version of his Friday Griff stream, and I really wanted to show him some love there because Jeff's a great guy, and I don't want to. I got here's the deal. I got finally hooked up into his StreamYard as I was driving down the road, as he signed off, and I got to talk to him behind the scenes. So it wasn't actually on time. So I felt kind of bad about that. Fabric though. Ooh, Stacy, I'm sorry. Somebody else took first. I gotta say it. It's a valid vote. We count all the votes here. We're pulling a Atlanta, Georgia thing here. That's the same says must have been a rough day if I got the tide. I just haven't had a chance to take it off. I was working, I'm doing this, or just haven't had a chance. And I'm like, I feel good right now. So it's all good. It's all good. It's all good. It's kind of like the reverse of No Tie Bronca. Somebody brought up earlier. So that's how I'm going to look at it. Unless either of them are the descendants is Alexei Navalny, I don't care. Well, I don't really care about this girl, but it's just it's really funny how stupid it is. This is now a swinger stream. Yeah, no, sorry. You don't get to change that much of the story. This is not a Mad Lib. Charlie said you could take the tie off right now. I could, but I don't think I'm going to. So if you want me on a swing, like swingers, no, you want me on a swing, that's gonna have to be a hell of a strong swing. I'll swing from an engine hoist. Oh. So where are we at right now? Okay. It's been a couple minutes. We're going to get started. I guess we'll get started with the swinging stream starts at midnight. If there was a swinging stream, it would be me eating a pistol, because that's the only kind of swinging I'd be doing, is stepping out on the missus with a pistol in my mouth. Nico said, I was shocked to see how many witnesses in the Hannah retrial weren't wearing ties. I mean, I'm not sure why. I mean, as long as you show up in decent clothes, that's all that matters. I mean, these are people who they're in the middle of their lives. Like, for a lot of these people, this is a hassle for them to have to come in and testify. So I don't blame them. They showed up dressed well. They acted very nicely. They gave court all the proper due that it was entitled. So I don't think, you don't have to dress up like you're going to a funeral. If you're the defense, yeah, you really should. But if you're just a witness, I mean, as long as you come in acceptably dressed, there's nothing wrong. You come in shorts and come in with like jeans and a t-shirt on if you want to. There's nothing wrong. Nothing wrong with that. So that's the other thing too. This is in bumfuck New Mexico. So like the guy shows up wearing like a big poofy vest on. Well, that's kind of like par for the course out there. He's supposed to be, it's how he's supposed to be dressed. Let's see here. What do you tell me? It's a real tie, not a clip on. It's a real tie. It's like I'm a real lawyer. It's a real tie. There's no look, see, no clip on. Okay, so where are we at here? We got a bunch of people here. We'll get started. And yes, it's an actual practicing tie. It's an actual practicing tie. So, T. says some judges will make you go home if you show up shorts here in Missouri. That's very true, and I have been in front of a judge who, if you showed up in shorts, he would reschedule your hearing. Granted, this, and he had a sign on his the door to his courtroom, and I think I still have a picture of it somewhere. I got to find it, where he said, no shirt, no shorts, no flip flops, and no tank tops. He says this is not, and he wrote at the bottom of the sign, it said, "This is not a beach." So it does happen. There are judges who do that. There are some judges who are just like, okay, fuck it, we got to get this going. Like, I remember one time I saw a lady. She came into court. She had a felony probation violation for a felony case she had, and she comes in wearing some like Lululemons that were probably like 20 pounds too small. She had on, a wife beater, and she had a muffin top going. So like, it looks like she was just hanging out at home and like, oh shit, I got to get to court. And I think she was like wearing Crocs, and she came in dressed like that. And the judge kind of looked up at her, and he's like, and then he just looked back down at his paperwork saying, oh, I see, ma'am, you're here on a probation violation. This is the allegations. And he just read through them. He's like, I ain't got time for this shit. He's like, I want to go golf. Charlie said, I've had thousands of court fees dismissed because I wore a suit to court. It makes a difference. Yes, it does. It does. But here's the thing. If you can't afford it, well, then, you can't afford it. Not everybody can do it. I'm assuming some of these people, like, that unit manager chick, like, she's probably got to go to work. I mean, maybe she can't afford a suit. That guy with the film stuff, he's like, I'm working. I don't, he's like, I showed up. So, yeah. Chaucer Fraud says, I had a court criticize my clothing. My response was, are you going to buy me clothes? No, then shove it. Well, if that really happened, I'm surprised the next response was, would you like to be held in contempt? Yes, dress like a Walmart shopper. Yes. Stacy says, what if you live near a beach? Flip-flops are the only acceptable footwear here from May to September. It's going to depend where you live. So if you noticed, for example, out in Hannah Reid's case, the judge wears like a little bit kind of like a neckerchief. It's like a little bit of Western flair. And the courtroom's got a little bit of Western flair to it a little bit. And that out that way, like attorneys will not wear like dress shoes. They'll wear cowboy boots. And some of them wear like bolo ties, or they'll have like more Western themed things, or some of them might have like more Native American themed color variations on stuff. That's a very that's common out west. Now, I assume maybe in like New Mexico and Arizona, if it gets really hot out, you probably are allowed to wear shorts. It's considered more acceptable. But in a lot of places, it's not. As far as like if you live near a beach, can you wear flip flops or slides or some? Maybe. I think you'd have to check, but I could see a lot of places still saying put on shoes, don't act like a heathen. Fabric for 199 says the best and worst city in Ohio and why. Well, I mean, is there really a best city in Ohio? I like Ohio, but I'm not going to say it's the best. What's the worst city in Ohio? I could do that one. Probably Columbus, because it's full of people from Columbus. It's full of Ohio State fans, and it's home to the government that hassles me almost as much as the federal government does. So Columbus is the worst town in Ohio. Kelly's saying, as seriously as somebody who was formerly homeless, someone who has much for an actual wardrobe, what would the judge do if I told him I don't have anything fancier? Well, ideally, if that's a situation, they might tell you, like, here, content, like, if it really came to it, I think they'd say, okay, whatever. But like, if you had an attorney, like if you had a like appointed counsel and they were like the public defender, I know, for example, when I was in Toledo, we had a whole at municipal court, we had a whole over the course of years, like a rack of clothes, like some like some button-down shirts, a couple of jackets, things like that, pants, if people needed something, and we'd wear it, get them up in there and get it out. But yeah, I mean, sometimes things happen in courts. Yeah. I mean, it all depends. It all depends. Dr. Mimo said I had a depot reschedule because I was wearing jeans. Okay, well that's assholish. That's really fucking obnoxious. That's really obnoxious. Nero says I live in Florida. You ever wear a full suit in 100 degrees, 100% humidity? No, because I'd look like a even sweatier and fatter mess than I do now, and that's pretty sweaty and fat. Whereas Ethan Ralph would say, I'm PPP's grandfather, which, once again, like, it's nice that I'm getting noticed in the sector. First, Jim notices me, and then Ethan Ralph notices me, and I'm like, those are pretty flattering comments, ultimately, at the end of the day. Because I'd rather be PPP's, grandfather than have PPP, like, be considered, like, like my dad or grandfather. That'd be more embarrassing, so. But yeah, the courts around you require it. That doesn't surprise me. That doesn't surprise me. Mr. Otter Pocket says Goodwill. Sean learned the tricks. Yeah, but here's the thing. For some people, that's not something they can do. I mean, there are some people they can't afford that. There are some people they don't have time. Like, they're working their ass off. They've got their family. Yeah, if I have a client, for example, like I have a client who, like, if the court says, hey, we're going to appoint you to a case, and let's say we have to go to trial. Like, I had a guy I got appointed to. He didn't have any clothes. He was homeless. Like, yeah, I ran to Goodwill and spent like $15 and got him dressed out pretty well. And that's the thing. Like, the clothes at Goodwill, you wash them and they look great. So he looked like $1 million. Yeah. If I have a trial, you can do that. I mean, that is a very easy way to take care of people. The only problem is, like, this guy had like monstrous feet, so I had to get him like, like the budget shoes off Amazon because nobody would ever see him, but he had to walk around in something. So, where are you guys? Wow, you guys are like going fast here. I'm trying to catch up. I'm making waves in the sector. Yeah, I know. It's like a cannonball with my fat ass. So, all right, guys, we're going to get started. Enough talking about me. It's time to go. So where are we going to start off with? I guess we'll start off with, and I think this is an issue of the media overselling things, and well, the cops also being cringe about it, because this doesn't make a whole lot of sense to me, and I think I got this, and it. So, um, the issue is a woman with 649 warrants was arrested by the Columbus police. She had 649 warrants. Now, I don't think there were 649 active warrants, because that would just be astronomically impossible. The odds of you committing 649 crimes, they know you've committed them all and there's active warrants for you, or you had court cases going and you've skipped bail and you're out running around. That hasn't happened. I think what they're trying to say is she has a history of warrants and she has 649 of them. Because I don't see otherwise how you could do this. I mean, when you have a court appearance and you miss, there's bench warrant. Okay. Well, then you come back in, the bench warrant gets lifted. Well, there was still a warrant out there. And if you look at her, her leads printouts, there might be a bunch of warrant notices in there, but they're not all active. Like, they will expire, but all that stuff stays there. But this is, I'm curious to see how they phrase this, because I did not listen to this part, but I had already read this. But here we go.
New this morning, a Pennsylvania woman wanted on nearly 650 warrants is behind bars thanks to the help of Columbus police. This is Ahoka Keith. Police say February 9th, they got a call from the Spring Township Police Department in Bellefonte, Pennsylvania, who said Keith was believed to be in the Columbus area. Well, court records show she had 649 warrants for her arrest, 322 felonies, and 327 misdemeanors related to the theft of a family member. Officers found her on Friday and took her into custody. The courts are now working to get her back to PA to face her charges.
And that's where I'm a little confused how they get the exact, 649 warrants. I understand that's the way that's phrased, but I still don't buy it. There's got to be some sort of I just don't see her committing 600 separate crimes. And if they are trying to count each time she may have stolen something from a family member, maybe it's like money or something, and she stole money 650 times. I think you'd be much better off charging that as one course of conduct and smacking her with a massive charge, because that's even better. So I don't see the value in it something does not make sense. But I'm sure that they, because it's the stuff here where, like I said, it talks about identity theft, criminal use of a communications, theft by unlawful taking, access device issued to another to not authorize it. So it sounds like she was messing around using phones to transfer things and then exploiting a person who's dependent. You could do a lot of those things at once, but to do 650 of them, I'm just like, something doesn't make sense there. But it sounds good in the news. Oh my God, the woman had 650 warrants. Yeah. Even the mobsters never got 650 charges against them at one time like that. I can't see that. I just can't see it. So, what kind of name is Aoka? I don't know. Yeah. The theft of an actual family. No, she didn't steal the family member. That's called kidnapping. No, she stole from her family member is what I assume happened there. I can't tell for sure, but it's not 100% clear. It's not 100% clear. So it's just I thought it was interesting in that regard. 650 warrants, like what happened here? And I read it and I'm like, this seems kind of contrived. But maybe not ultimately. Maybe not. So, where is? Sorry, we're trying to find you guys because I lost you for a second. Oh, I forgot to get. Is Kick running? Oh no, Kick isn't running. Oh shit, sorry. Sorry everybody out there who's waiting for me on Kick. I just forgot to activate that, but you'll jump in late. Hi, Kick. Borrowed from a family member without permission? Yeah. That totally makes sense. That happens all the time. Batman says, looked like a Florida woman, especially since Ohio doesn't exist. Well, it's real enough. Okay. Nico says it was a typo. It should have been 6,500. That would be funny. I mean, imagine that. Like, if I had that many counts, and Sula's saying 650 maybe. Yeah. I'm not going to lie, though. If I had that many counts, I would intentionally make them read it all. Because normally you have the right to have your charges read to you. And I'd say, Your Honor, I demand to have my charges read to me. I'd make them read all 650 of them. Because either way, I'm probably going away for a really long time. Because even if they plead most of those out, you're still screwed. And courts hate it when you steal from elderly people. There's, that's kind of one of the ways pretty much any judge, diddling little kids, stealing from the elderly, you're going to prison. So I might as well make them earn it and have like I could easily see that being like a day and a half long hearing where he just reads your charges. And you get halfway, you get done. It's like, do you understand that? No, sir, I think you're going to need to read it again. But if it was 6,500, I would really make them read them all. Like, no, I want to hear. I have a constitutional right to hear all of my charges against me. I mean, the indictment would be like a phone book at that point. Oh, Swizgar did send a super chat for $5 saying, "So now we know the limit is 648, right? Isn't that how this works?" Yes, apparently that's the limit in Pennsylvania. I don't know. Yes, try it. Let me know how it works for you. Did I see where the news where Arizona is refusing to extradite a man on murder charges to New York? No. Hold on here. Arizona. This is interesting. We'll get to this then. That's great. We got an extra story for tonight. We'll be able to run longer. Got to pull Ethan out though. We need to meet the gold, chat, to go all night. T says, ask for an ASL and Spanish interpreter. Oh no, you got to be careful about. Yeah, that's gonna be. Can ask for a Spanish interpreter, so they have to go even slower. That would be great. Yes, Your Honor, I'm sorry. My client only speaks Klingon. Cat's Galley says, read the charges and please, I need it to be in Braille. Baum says, you get out on half of the charges for not having a speedy trial. Yes. Yes. Eric Foams. Oh, that would be a great clickbait title. Courts hate him because of this one trick. Prosecutors lose their minds. Let's see, what else do you guys say? I need all my charges in uniform. Yes. Yes. I only read Sanskrit, Your Honor, so please get to work on that for me. And it's early Sanskrit, not the one we think of, the kind that kind of got lost to time. Sugoi Somi saying there was a case where CPS took away children from some parents because they only taught the children Sindarin. Really? I mean, I could see that being an issue. You're teaching your kids like that, but yeah, never heard of that. I could see it though. CPS is gay. Yes, they are. But you know what? I had a hearing this morning, children's service hearing. Guess what? We fucking won. That's right. Got the big old dub on a children's services case. Trying to take some kids out of the home, and we got magistrate got the end like, no neglect, no dependency. I'm dismissing the case in its entirety, closing the case plan, and be like, just pow with it. So, like, they have 14 days to appeal it. So, this lady's gonna get her kids back, hopefully. So it was a great way to start the day. Yeah, get wrecked. That's kind of what I thought walking out. So. Nero says I used to get out tickets because cops weren't allowed to get paid time off for traffic court, but apparently too many people were doing that. Now it's done on duty. Well, that's the way it should be. That should be part of your I've never understood why cops, when they show up to court, it's overtime. Part of your job is being in court, being a representative of the system. So, I'm here on overtime. I'm okay. It's like, you shouldn't be on overtime. You should be like, this is part of your job. So the idea like cops never gotten overtime for being in court, I always thought was such bullshit. Truly. So yeah, I'm glad that they're doing on duty. Yeah. Also will make the incentive for them to not write as many tickets. Well, wait, I'm not going to make as much money as I thought, and I'm going to have to do it like in the middle of my day. You know what they're going to say? Fuck that. That leads to fewer tickets, hopefully. Say Squizgars for $10 says this is for taking it to the man. Thank you. Because especially with children's services cases, they are tough to win because generally speaking, they come in and go, well, golly, the house was dirty. Why was it dirty? Well, it was dirty. And we just think the children aren't safe there. And usually what happens? Magistrate, the judge goes, such concern, very concerned. Granted. And then your client's stuck in a case plan. So, yeah. Shri sent a super sticker for $19.99. Thank you. If you meant to send a super chat, I'll say something down there, and I'll still bring it up. So, but thank you very much. Yeah, Peter says no bounty for you, CPS, not this time. Yeah. Yep, I'm hoping so. I think the judge will agree. This judge generally backs his magistrates up. So, gotta wait though. They have 14 days to appeal it to the judge. That's a shame. Says I had 3 CPS fact findings today, and I'm pretty sure I lost all of them. Well, I mean, when I do the children's services cases, yeah, I mean, you generally don't win. So it's nice when you can. Yes, but think of the kids. TV says we should watch the Bad Cop video. You started to watch it months ago, but maybe too spicy. His trial's in April. Which Bad Cop? I don't remember. Because that's like you go on YouTube, cop does criminal shit. And it's like, now it's like a million things. So you don't know. I don't know which one you're talking about. I'm going to make sure I see if you say something down in chat below, but I don't remember which one. Oh. You're welcome. I meant to send a sticker. Okay, I just wanted to make sure. By Fran says, do you think they'll appeal? Yes. Yes, they ain't gonna let this. They rarely let things go. They almost always appeal. They gonna forget about you. I told my client, I'm like, you need to be you need to be prepared. They show up tomorrow morning, hoping to catch you just completely drunk off your ass. And the next 14 days, you're still 100% on the rules. So. Yes, Bad Cop really narrows it down. The DeSoto, Missouri handcuffed man. When, hold on here. Did we cover this at all? Yeah, I don't know. That's not helping me because I don't know what you're saying there. It's not helping me figure that out. That's a shame. Says you have to tell us after the appeal deadline so we could say fuck you CPS again. Yes. We're going to get to the drunk police chief video. Don't worry. I say bad cop. No, you started to and shut the video down. Well, I'm not sure which one it is. I'm sorry. So I don't know. Let me see here. So let's see here. Okay, trying to see what you guys are talking about over in locals. Oh, Grifty's looking for some. I'll reach out to Grifty. I just saw you guys talking about that. So. Oh yes, the nurse, the funeral home guy. Yeah, you know what though? That's the other one I forgot to grab. But yes, we'll definitely do that. Don't DeSoto, Missouri. Yeah, I'm not sure. Yeah, I still don't know. I'm being chased by the cops. No. All right, guys. Next thing that happened is some actual really good news, and it's from Letitia James. Now, yes, she is the Attorney General of New York, but she has done God's work in one area. She has taken a blowtorch to the National Rifle Association. Teresa, do you miss the Fanny stuff? Oh no, we haven't gotten there yet. That's going to be that's coming up in a second. We got to get some stuff out of the way. We've got to build attention, build people wanting to be here. You know, it's we got the foreplay before the sex. So, Letitia James has been taking a blowtorch to the NRA. And yes, because the NRA is big and evil and bad, and they really don't donate that much money. The NRA has donated fractions of the money it's taken in over the past 30, 40 years. And it's funny because Twitter and politicians in general treat the NRA like it's such a boogeyman. And I wish the NRA was as strong and as powerful as the anti-gun movement thought they were. Because if the NRA was really that powerful, we'd have fucking vending machines full of grenade launchers. I'd be driving down the street with a 50 caliber machine gun mounted to the roof of my Subaru right now. That's what would happen if the NRA was that powerful. They're not. You know, we'd be on Rumble doing Stinger missile build-along streams. And everybody sitting at home building their homemade Stinger missile kits. But that's not how strong the NRA is. The NRA has been a joke. When Wayne LaPierre and the current executive board has been in charge, all they've done has pissed away hundreds of millions of dollars. Not only doing the NRA TV thing, which turned out to be a massive scam with kickbacks through their vendors and Ackerman McQueen. They had a lawyer that was billing them like $5 million a month. And they paid it. And because it was a lawyer they were working with, and you know, he just billed them and they paid. The amount of money that they pissed away buying things, and we talked about this before, actually probably about a month or two ago, for these cheap looking whores. They weren't even the good looking hookers that existed out there. It was sad the amount of money they spent on all these Italian suits that still didn't look 100% right. And going on yachts and going on excursions and trips and just eating through all this money. What Letitia James, and here's the thing, you guys might be wondering, well, why does the NRA members stop it? They've tried. The problem is the board of directors has multiple people. There's like 30 or 40 of them. And there have been many people who have launched platforms like trying to lead, revolts to go after the executive board. But there's so many members of the board of directors who are scumbags and back them, so probably getting paid, that it made things futile and people quit. So the NRA has, been hemorrhaging money. It's also been hemorrhaging members. It's probably been at least 10. Well, no, how long has it been? I had a multi-year membership that expired in 2017. I haven't renewed it since. But I bought it in 2014 because one of the ranges I was a member at, you had to have an NRA membership to be a member of the club and in good standing. So, yeah, it's been almost 10 years since I bought a membership. And I need the NRA to change. And they've called and they've asked me for money. And when they send me something in the mail, I write, get rid of Wayne LaPierre. They call, like, fire Wayne's ass, get rid of him. Now it looks like Letitia James is going to make that happen for us, which she's doing God's work. And the funny thing is, if she does this right, and the NRA will come out of this even stronger, which would be fucking hilarious, that the New York AG's office makes the NRA more effective at what it wants to do, which would be protecting the Second Amendment here in the United States. That's the true funny part of this. Letitia James may save the NRA, which I hope she does. So she went after them, and she went after Wayne LaPierre and the executives at the NRA, and they've had to testify about the money they've pissed away and what they've used it on. Well, a jury determined that he owes more than $4 million, which is a fraction of the amount of money he's pissed away and fucked with. But hey, it's a start. So this is from tonight. He left the New York Supreme Court, and that means trial court, in Manhattan. So the longtime head of the NRA, who misspent millions and used the funds to pay for an extravagant lifestyle, which it truly was extravagant. The crazy shit they did was just ridiculous. The amount of money that disappeared. And had that money been used the way most organizations use their stuff, the NRA would have been just dominating politics. I mean, compared to most interest groups, the NRA donates very, very minimal amounts of money. I mean, unions, like even individual unions and specific, interest organizations and PACs donate more money than the NRA does. The NRA does things for pennies on the dollars, but it's because the members are so reliable. They vote. They keep track of things on their own, especially nowadays with social media. You can find out politicians making Second Amendment related comments. It's very easy for that, but also because the NRA is so shitty, they alienated most state level organizations. So all these state level organizations grew on their own, and they've been pushing laws on their own. So these state level organizations have been getting stronger and stronger and stronger, and they've been filling the gap for political advocacy that the NRA failed at. And I guess you guys remember we had Rob Dorr on many, actually a couple months ago. I need to have him back on again. He was working with the Minnesota Gun Owners Organization, and it was talking about what's it like being a lobbyist. And yeah, they are carrying the banner of the NRA through to the ground and refuse to pick up. So LaPierre must repay $4.4 million to the gun rights group. The retired finance chief, Wilson Phillips, like that's really his name, owes $2 million. And then they also found that the NRA failed to properly manage its assets, omitted or misrepresented information in its tax filings, and violated whistleblower protections under New York law. Now, the thing is, why is this in New York? The NRA is incorporated in New York. They've been incorporated in New York since 1871. When the Union generals involved in it set the organization up, that's where they were set up at, was in the state of New York. So he did resign from the NRA, but I wasn't buying it. Nothing's final until until we see the body, it's not over. So yes, he sat stone-faced in court. Good. I hope it fucking hurt, Wayne. I hope you die penniless, you son of a bitch. Yes, she declared it a major victory. And to be fair, it is a major victory. I hope this makes the NRA even stronger, which I think it will ultimately. It's going to be fucking hilarious if the NRA comes back even stronger with better leadership. So thank you, Miss James. You've done your work to help protect the Second Amendment out there. So let's see here. Where are we? Hairway to Steven says, I'm a Teamster and my union did everything they could to crush the recall of Gavin Newsom. Horrible shit. Yeah, well, that's that's the thing. Unions, there's a lot of unions that do all kinds of stuff. What's going on here? So let's see here. Oh, hi, Hella. How are you doing? Guys, if you overexcited utterance, you guys say hello to her. If you guys didn't know, I was gonna let you guys be aware. Tomorrow at 4, I'm gonna be on with her and David from MLS, Michigan, Making Law Simple, and we're gonna be talking about Tyrone Franklin, the treehouse murder guy who defended himself and got a hung jury, and is going to be retried coming up. I'm only going to be talking about the case. I'm not necessarily going to be on with him. I think he's, there's I'm not sure if it's been confirmed he's coming on with Ella at all coming up, but I know that was something possibly going there. But I won't go on when he's there, and that's just because I kind of feel there's an obligation that if I talk to him, if I'm on there with him and he says something that kind of torpedoes him, I kind of feel like I have a little bit of professional responsibility to not be there if that happens. And ultimately, I know he's going to represent himself, and all I can say is I think that's a horrible idea. So me sitting there saying, yeah, that sounds great, buddy, but this is a dumb idea, is not going to be good for anybody. So that's why I'll only be there for part of the interviews that are going on. Quick says they do dominate, but it's all been trash, like advocating for bump stock bans and the like. Yes. They don't advocate properly for us. Bifron says, I remember the lifetime memberships in the 1990s. Yeah. Yep. And that's the thing that really keeps the NRA alive today are the boomers. But as the boomers are dying off and getting too old, they need to come back to us, the youngins, and they're feeling the pinch. Third Realify says, I wish I had a Second Amendment. I understand, Sean, and one day you guys will. KRMB said, besides a magazine, what did the NRA do for you? Well, it scared politicians. They were scared of an organization that didn't really have teeth. And that was really good. And they've been a lightning rod for the anti-gun community for years now, which is fine. They're kind of like Uncle Junior in The Sopranos. He's the lightning rod for the feds when they come after the family. So instead of the left attacking the Firearms Policy Coalition, Second Amendment Foundation, Gun Owners of America, and all these state-level organizations, they're focused all their fire on the NRA while everybody else is taking care of business. That's fine. Maybe that's their role in life. But maybe the role of the NRA, if it gets stronger, it can do so much more. It can be the lightning rod, but also fight the battle. So that is... Mike says, I'm a Les and I drive a Subaru. Yeah, I drive a Subaru. Yeah, it's a nice car. Gunners of America is better. Yes, Gunners of America is a better organization. There's a lot better organizations out there. But it's, they serve a purpose right now. Yes, the NRA can get wrecked. I agree. Yes, 4 p.m. Eastern time. Yep. Yeah, hell, oh, so you do have Ty coming on. Oh, cool. That is going to be a fun interview, I think, for you. So yes, she will have Tyrone Franklin on, the guy who defended himself. And yeah, I think it'll be very good for her. I think it'll be a great interview. So if you guys want to watch that, you'll be able to see one of the people you get to see in a trial, talking about their experiences and what they're going to probably do the second time around. T Reese says someone deleted the link I posted in chat. Well, it's hard. YouTube doesn't let you post a link unless you're a mod, T Reese. So, can you send the link to my email address down below, potentiallycriminal@gmail.com? So if you do, I can look for it and I can do it. I never had the makings of a varsity athlete. I get that joke. I understood that reference. No Name said the Fani case get a verdict yet? Not yet. Not yet. Let's see here. What did I miss? Any others in the meantime? Okay, no, we're caught up. So yeah, that'll be the good news for the NRA. Like I said, I hope it's stronger. And like I said, we only have one person to thank, Letitia, for it. So thank you so much, Ms. James, for making the NRA stronger than it's ever been, hopefully. Okay, so the main event for tonight, Fani Willis. We got 329 people here. You know what? We're going to get started on that. We're going to do it, chat. Oh, Fani Willis. Fani Willis. Why do I have these on? I'm not listening to anything. And I'm not hunting for U-boats, so I don't need to listen. Fani Willis. The proud black woman. Black with a Q. BLAQUE. Black woman. District Attorney. Fulton County, Georgia. Protecting the streets of Hotlanta. Well, she's in a bit of trouble, chat. Bit of trouble. What happened to her? Well, she has the issues going on about her hiring her boyfriend as a contractor, paying him more than she makes herself in a year, letting him charge over $750,000 for said job, and then gallivanting around with him on that money, and then paying back in cash with no receipts. Like I said before, you can call it a kickback because it is. Now, in the middle of all of that, both Fani and her boo, Nathan Wade, said, well, they only really got together around like 2017, 2018. That's when they started doing the hippity dippity and doing everything. Well, there might be an issue there. You mean it, what do you mean, Sean? Are you saying they lied? Yes, it looks like they did. Shocker. I know. How I believe Fani Willis would lie about shit like this. Well, it looks like she has lied. Although I'm going to hold out. Like, this is allegations from the one side, but I kind of think this is it. Now, and as I stated this morning on Future Conflict when I was on briefly, the unraveling of this case, because this is the one case Trump was never going to be able to escape. Even if he wins, this one's still here. He also can't get pardoned out by the governor because the governor's not in charge of pardons in Georgia. It's the pardon board. They have a parole and pardon board who make the recommendations and do it through the governor's power. The governor doesn't have that power reserved to himself. Well, yeah, it's this is the one who's going to have to fight. And I remember going through the indictment with you guys, and I still think One of the stronger charges against Trump was this allegation he signed a document, one of the filings, knowing it was bullshit. That was going to be tough. That was going to be a tougher charge for Trump to avoid. The RICO stuff, yeah, not so much. And the rest of it, I still thought the case was shit, but that was probably one of the stronger charges. But now, as this case begins to unravel, I think this puts pressure on everything else. And eventually, you're going to see the New York case with Alvin Bragg start to suffer. Eventually, you're going to see an implosion of the case in Southern Florida with the classified documents, really, because notice, you haven't been hearing leaks of information, because if the feds had stuff they wanted you to know, they would have leaked it, because then the press reports on it. What have you heard lately about that case? Is there anything good out of it? Not really. Well, that one's starting to fall apart. And the last man standing is going to be the January 6th case. And I think that's the one Supreme Court walks up to and kills off itself. So that's going to be it. But the Fani Willis, there was a filing today. And you could call this a bombshell. Now, we're not to the point where you can do the, ladies and gentlemen, we got her. But I have the feeling we're getting pretty close. We're getting pretty close. Fani is going to be, Fani's in a bit of trouble here. Certainly, she's not, certainly, Fani Willis did not read this and laugh it off. So, there's a corrected supplemental defense exhibit 38 to the hearing on defendant's motion to dismiss and disqualify. So they are filing a supplemental defense exhibit to their exhibit to dismiss their motion to dismiss and disqualify that was already pending. And that's the thing we watched. We watched day 2 of, because I didn't have a chance to watch day 1 with you guys. That 2-day hearing. President Trump hereby files this corrected, although it's corrected with a asterisk, proposed supplemental defense exhibit 38 to the hearing on defense motion to dismiss and disqualify. Proposed exhibit 38 consists of an affidavit from defense investigator Charles Middlestat certifying that the cell hawk analysis and reports, which are attached as exhibits A and C. The analysis and reports, as well as certified AT&T records, have been provided electronically via a cloud folder link contained in the courtesy email, which there must be a ton of documents. And usually when it comes to the cell stuff, there are like a ton of them, okay? So that's why it's being done as a cloud link. Mr. Middlestat, the author of Exhibit 38, is available to testify at the court's convenience. And this is Steven Sadow. This is Trump's attorney. That was the guy who did a lot of the cross-examinations. If the lady Ashley Merchant wasn't doing it, he was doing a bunch of it. This is Trump's attorney. And this guy does not fuck around. He, from what I can tell, this guy don't fuck about. And J-Rock, being down that way, knows him. He's a good guy. He's a good attorney. I wouldn't say a good guy, but he's a good attorney, according to my sources. Real quick, President-elect Phil Swift says, I'm going to get an ICA 5 so the Reaper isn't lonely. That's not a bad choice. Thank you for the super chat. And then the Buzz CJC is a new member. Thank you. Thank you, Buzz. I appreciate it very, very much. So let's see. So it sounds like we've got an affidavit to read. And we do. Now, see, the correction, and this is interesting here. So the correction's on page 5, first paragraph, line 4, which should have read 12,000 interactions, not 12,000 text messages. Okay. So let's see here. So this is just certificate of service proving that you filed it using e-filing. So the affidavit of Charles Middlestat. This is weird. I would have done this a little more like breakdown line by line, but whatever. So I'm Charles Middlestat. I am a criminal defense investigator working with attorneys Steve Sadow and Jennifer Little in support of the defense of Donald J. Trump in case number 23. And this is the case number here. 23 SC 188947. God, that's a lot of numbers. in conjunction with the counsel for the record for Michael Roman, and Michael Roman's had Ashley Merchant. Those guys are the ones who filed these motions to get Fani in trouble and brought up. So they're all working together and they're communicating and working as a team here. So I personally served a request for records upon AT&T Subpoena Compliance Center. The requested documents included voice call text history as well as specialized location data for AT&T number blank belonging to subscriber Nathan Wade. So chat, this is where you get to go. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. On the morning of February 15th, counsel received a response from AT&T containing an encrypted link to the requested records, and I was provided access to a zip file containing a response from AT&T. Following review of the zip file, I confirmed that AT&T fully complied with the request, the bulk of which accrued records for the period of January 1st, 2021 through November 30th of 2021. The certified records from AT&T are included in the cloud file titled AT&T Records, which is being contemporaneously served upon all parties. And this is the thing here. The certified records, these are not going to be hearsay. And the thing is, the prosecution does these cell records all the time. These things come into court. This is already settled law. There's foundation you lay, you introduce it, and bam, this stuff is in. It's not hard. So Fani and her team, there's not a whole lot of bitching and moaning they could do about the records because they're pretty much accepted at this point. Sadao is a badass. Yeah, he's doing good. J-Rock says Brian Steele. Brian Steele is a good attorney too. That is Young Thug's attorney. He's doing really good in the YSL trial. So let's see here. Sniper's Nest saying I'm late and gay. No, it's good you're here, man. Good to see you. Booty calls caught in 4K. Are you going to stream the hearing Friday? Is it set for next Friday? Because I didn't think it was still set yet. But if I'm available, I will. If not, we'll watch it later. Kat Madison said, did these dummies not think they were going to get their cell phone calls recorded? Idiots. No. No, I don't think they did. They thought this was going to... They're corrupt. They've been corrupt before. I mean, why do people do sketchy things? Because they don't think they're going to get caught. I mean, yes, sometimes they just don't care. But most of the time, why do people do things? Because they don't think they're going to get caught. And I don't think they thought they were going to get caught. I mean, really, if there had been most other cases and a lot of other people involved, they probably would have gotten away with this. But they've got one of the people who is one of the richest men in this country, one of these guys who's willing to spend money to fuck you over and find all the dirt on you. He's paid for the top-notch legal team. They got a hold of a top-notch investigator. The other people have, and we talked about this in the hearing, these attorneys all know each other. These are some of the most elite attorneys in the state of Georgia doing a lot of this criminal defense work in the state of Georgia and the Atlanta area. So these people know how to get results and they know how to dig and they know from dealing with Fani, she's crooked as shit. So they were taking advantage of their kind of knowledge of the ground. That's why having local counsel is very important. They know the terrain. J-Rock is saying, I did a handful of cases with Counselor Steele in the day. Love that guy. Like I said, Brian Steele is Young Thug's attorney. March 1st is the hearing. Okay. Yeah, that's what I thought. And is that a Friday? Oh, it is a Friday. It's next Friday. Okay. Yeah, I think I'm... Hold on here. We'll see what we got. I got. Yes, I'm available. We're doing it. Yeah. Guess what, chat? We're doing it. I have a hearing at 9 a.m. That's online. It's a video hearing. That should be it. So, but I'll be there. the rest of it. Yes, and Fani was so arrogant in the courtroom, and yeah, I think she thought it would have been lead attorney. Yes, lead attorney. Well, lead attorney, another attorney in the Atlanta area, said he went over Wade's divorce finances. He's $65K in the hole for credit cards and no retirement. Yeah, it doesn't surprise me. Nunya Business says she admitted to crimes on the stand. She did. Now, I will say in her defense that, like, the whole campaign thing, if she said all that stuff, I kind of get the idea. She may have been like a little flippant or short with the words, but here's the thing. When you're on the stand, you need to be very precise with what you say. Being on the stand is not the time to be loosey-goosey with your words saying, oh, what I really meant was, no, you need to be very specific. And she didn't. She shot her mouth off at the hip, and she's going to pay the price for that. J-Rock says her office used it as a staple. Oh. Mr. Sniper says, stream your hearing. I can't. It is a juvenile case, and I would probably get disbarred for doing that. But yes, guys, if you the lead attorney, he is out here on YouTube. Lead attorney is a great channel. He does a lot of good stuff. I recommend him if you guys haven't had a chance to listen to him before. I know he's been on with Nick and some of the other people here on LawTube, but he's really good on his own too. Or Robert Gavea. Robert's always great too. I love listening to Robert. I listen to him a lot. Robert's doing God's work out there, keeping up on all of this from the Trump angle the whole way through. He's doing really good with that every day. Ag says Lead and AV to the Seventh are hilarious. They are together. They're very good on their show. So let's get back to this, and let's get back to the complaint here, or the this affidavit, because this is, guys, this is big. This is not good for Fani. Upon receipt, I began analysis using a Leeds online analytics tool called CellHawk. CellHawk is considered by law enforcement to be the gold standard in cell phone records analytics, and it's true. These programs the police use, private investigators can use them as well. You buy it, you pay for it, and yeah, you've got it. It's used throughout the United States and by law enforcement agencies, and is going to be well known to the Fulton County District Attorney's Office. And the point of bringing this up is they can't say, oh, we don't know what this is. We've never used it. How do we know it's reliable? All those Daubert things, the challenging the scientific validity of all this analytical things. They're like, no, Georgia State Police use this. The Atlanta Police use this. Georgia Bureau of Investigation uses this. You guys have offered this evidence in court before, in trials. So now you can't come around and say, no, it's not valid. As a board-certified criminal defense investigator, now that's something that is going to be kind of by your state. Not every state has board-certified things. For example, like Bruce Rivers. He says he's a board-certified defense attorney, trial attorney. We don't have, like in Ohio, there is no certification or getting board certified to be a defense person. There are certain certifications you can get as an attorney for certain types of law, but like defense isn't one, but every state is different. So being a certified investigator, shows that the requirements in Georgia he went through to get, where he put in a lot of work and he has done their training. He has a lot of experience at it. Just like a police officer, they talk about like what I've done and how I went to the academy and I learned how to do this, that, and the other. This is no different. He's going to talk about all the shit he's done and everything he's learned about to show you he is qualified to talk about this. He specialized in criminal cases for over 25 years. I routinely use CellHawk to conduct analysis, both on initiated subpoenas and those received in discovery. My firm was granted a license and completed training in 2019. I pay an annual license fee, and CellHawk is the program I use exclusively to analyze such records. Since that time, my staff and I have attended webinars and remain updated on training. The latest features available via CellHawk. I have a strong working knowledge of its capabilities and limits and have extensive experience utilizing the program to analyze cell phone data. While I'm not a cell phone tower engineer or expert, I have the equivalent experience and training of those individuals routinely tasked by law enforcement agencies or the district attorney's office with identical analysis responsibilities. He's pointing out that they use people like me all the time. So they also can't cry and moan that I'm not qualified. So if you see what he did there, he just went ahead and cut off their advances because now they can't go run around and say this is the thing they want to attack. Nope, he's qualified and nope, he's trained. He's done everything that you would have hired somebody just like him anyway. So it takes a lot of ammunition out of Fani's backpack. There's less arrows in her quiver. The cornerstone of the CellHawk analytics tool is the inability to manipulate data. Data is uploaded as received by the cell provider custodian. Once loaded, it can be queried and examined in innumerable ways. From there, data reports can be generated and the geolocation data can be displayed in unlimited ways, including an animated map. But you can't manipulate the data. You could only... This is a program that organizes and collates and curates the data. It doesn't allow you to manipulate the data. And that's his point, showing that I just know how to use it and I can make it, show it up on a map, and I can make it presentable. Under normal circumstances, analysis is conducted on data involving far narrower records periods, perhaps a few days or even weeks. It's difficult to understand the amount of data in this scenario, however. While the sheer size in no way impacts the ability to conduct analysis, it did require a different approach in order to narrow down potential dates to explore. I began my analysis by focusing on two distinct reports. Generating report Exhibit A, and it's isolating all interactions. This includes voice calls and text messages between Wade and Willis during the period of available records in 2021. The dates, timing, frequency, and duration of these interactions are included as part of the report. That report revealed over 2,000 voice calls and just under 12,000 interactions exchanged over the 11-month period in 2021. That's a lot of voice calls for a couple of months. I mean, think about it. For a span of 11 months, they called 2,000 times and 12,000 interactions. That's a lot. A heat map is Exhibit B, shows the interactions which show calls during evening hours. Focus on geolocation activity, the cell phone triangulation. It's near a blank, blank, blank Dogwood Drive in Haverville, Georgia, which was testified by Miss Yurdy to the address of her condo, which generating a report to reflect that as Exhibit C. That's where Fani was living. So, given the urgency associated with the need to analyze stuff, notice he got it on the 15th, and he's probably been plowing through this data since then. And there's tons of it, it sounds like. So, it's probably bogging down the computers on top of that. He's been going through this. He also tried to correlate the data given the testimony that was given. He constructed a very conservative geofence which isolated the two towers in closest proximity to this address, one roughly 3,000 feet away and the other 2,000 feet away. Remember, in urban centers, you're going to have more, in built-up areas, you're going to have more and more towers. So those are really close, less than a half mile pretty much. The purpose of this geofence was to conduct an initial assessment of whether Mr. Wade's phone ever connected to those towers. Now, the way towers work, guys, it's not just the one you're closest to, it's the one it can see the best. So you could be near a tower, and if there's, if it can't see it, but it can see one farther away, it's going to connect to the farthest away, the one it can see the best, the one it can reach the best. So they see if his phone ever connected. Additionally, this modality was used to limit the possibility that hits could be associated with routine travel on either I-75 or I-85 or visits to nearby attractions or the airport. So they were ruling out, if he's driving down the road, he's allowed to drive down the road, that's not sus. It's also not sussy to go to the airport. It's also not suspicious to go to a restaurant or go do whatever. Following that initial conservative sweep limited to those two towers, I further constrained those finding to hits on Alpha Sector or Azimuth 2, which pointed directly at the Dogwood Drive community. Now, the way the cell phone towers work, guys, they have like 3 sectors. And those sectors each are like 120 degrees. And they cover, the 360 degree that the cell tower radiates out on. So, additionally, the report was limited to those occasions when the phone was connected for an extended period. I don't know what extended period means, but I think it probably means more than like 10, 20 seconds. This analysis using the above referenced modality revealed a minimum of 35 occasions when Wade's phone connected for an extended period to either one of those towers in closest proximity to the Dogwood address, based upon its associated data used voice calls or text messages. The data reveals he is stationary and not in transit. A deeper analysis of the data would reveal additional details such as where his travel began or ended, but that's not what he was worried about. He's worried about, did he come by this location? For purposes of my analysis, I determined that his residence is located in East Cobb and was able to view the records which demonstrate his phone pinging off the associated towers near his residence for consistent periods. So, because of limitations in analyzing the sheer volume of data preparing the report, I was directed to conduct a deeper analysis on 2 specific dates. September 11th, 2021. Never forgetty. And before I understand Mr. Wade was hired, and then November 29th and 30th of 2021, prior to what I understand was the in-court testimony that the romantic relationship began in 2022. So see what they did there? They went to September before he was hired, and then also November prior to when they claimed the relationship started. So specifically on September 11th, Mr. Wade's phone left the Doraville area, and that's somewhere in Georgia, Atlanta area. I don't really know. With the geofence located on the Dogwood address at 10:45 p.m. The phone remained there until September 12th at 12:38 a.m. Maybe they were just studying really hard, or maybe they had like a Harry Potter watch-a-thon. I mean, just as friends. Fani friend-zoned Wade, I guess. At which time the phone traveled directly to towers located in East Cobb, consistent with his routine, pinging at the residents in that area. A phone arrived at East Cobb at approximately 4:05 a.m., and the records demonstrate he sent a text at 4:20 a.m. to Willis. Chat, this is not looking good. Additionally, on November 29, 2021, Mr. Wade's phone was pinging on the East Cobb Towers near his residence, following a call from Miss Willis at 11:32 p.m. Okay. While the call continued, his phone left the residence, and just after midnight arrived within the geofence located at the Dogwood address at 12:43 on November 30th. The phone remained there until 4:55 a.m. Get it, son. Oh, goddamn, chat. This is not looking good. Uh-oh. Yeah, that's a booty call. Yep, Fani Willis. Fani was his booty call. Although maybe she booty called him. I don't know. She got booty call delivered to her door. Maybe she was better, Am I cutting in or out? I'm sorry. If I've been cutting in or out, let me know. Holy cow, you guys are talking a lot here. I'm trying to catch up, see what you guys mentioned here. Yes, they were debriefing. That's what they were doing. They were doing debriefings. Yes, Garrett Pace. Yes, in court. It's like, he shows up. He's like, permission to badger your pussy, Your Honor. Let's see here. Sweet, he's just fat and laborious with breathing. What happened? Thank you, J-Rock. I appreciate that. Imagine Fanny's ghetto ass pics. I bet. I think Cellhawk came from Stingray Tech. Yeah, but Stingray, if you guys aren't aware, Stingray was the one where it would set up a fake cell tower and just hoover up all your data and spoof your phone to thinking it was connected to a network. So it's kind of like it probably wouldn't surprise me it came from that, but Stingray was some pretty illegal shit. So that's still out there, and police agencies still use it. Let me see here. 6 calls per day. Yeah, roughly. Deplorable Bitter Clinger says, I've never called my wife that many times in an 11-month period. Very true. Very true. It's a lot of times. Hapeville. Okay. Hapeville. I'm from there. Sonny says Hapeville. Hape. It's like rape, but with a huh. Klinger is saying, if you take our entire 22-year relationship, there might not be that many phone calls. Yeah, especially when you see the person all the time. JRX says, no, 23. What? Okay, sure, 23. J-Rock says sector. Okay, well, yes, sector. Where are you trying to see here? You guys are... Oh, you guys are giving me Atlanta area geography lessons. Okay, great, thank you. That's great. Yes, booty dash. Mr. Case's Wade just wanted the tick. Oh. Yes, was it Courvoisier or Colt 45 that they were drinking? Not sure, yeah. Eric's like, Lil Cognac. 36 text messages a day. Remember, it's interactions, not necessarily text messages. So, Karam says, you think she calls him like, Daddy? Maybe. Or you think she calls him Daddy? Or she's like, ooh, Daddy. Phone Punk says, Doraville, Georgia had like 3 Waffle Houses in a square mile area at one point. Well, I mean, Georgia's home to Waffle House, so that makes sense. Lil War is saying, now we know why they kept asking Fani if anyone stayed the night. Although, to be fair, that's not really staying the night. Now, the other, because he didn't really stay the night. He stayed long enough to bust and then, bust in her a couple times and leave. So, technically, like, actually and technically, he didn't sleep. That's, it's like he could have been like, well, my dick fell asleep after we banged and then it woke back up again. But that's what he's probably going to say. Let's get back to this affidavit, though. The findings I hate how these go from crappy images to good images. The findings and data are presented in a PowerPoint presentation. Ooh. According to Cellhawk, PowerPoint screen recordings are deemed to be the best way to present in a transparent way the totality of the data upon which the animated map feature is built. It allows for simultaneous viewing of the timeline, route travel, tower hits, tower information. Well, they got a good job on that one. Source of the hit, call, data, text, and elapsed time, among other features. Furthermore, juxtapose the communications or the absence thereof. Additional conclusions may be drawn from the data. I declared a penalty of perjury. So, yeah, that looks like this was a... well, it looks like they copied and pasted a document. Because this is a difference like that. That kind of looks like what they did. And kind of plink. So, certification of cell record analysis generated from Cellhawk. So this is from Middlestat again. Okay. So he's got Exhibit A is entitled Wade Willis Interactions. Then Wade Willis Heat Map. Oh, I'm sure there was a lot of heat with those two. And these are all things he talked about, all the two specific time frames that he looked at, and then when he did the real in-depth analysis of those 2 weekends. Like, geez Louise, like, ladies and gentlemen, I think we got her. So under the penalty of perjury, like, what is going on here? What is this? What is that? Like Sergeant Hartman, like, what the fuck is that? I don't know. Although it sucks. I don't have the exhibits, guys. I could only find the motion online. Let's see. Joshua was saying, have I seen the pictures of Wade? Like, are you talking like sexting pictures? Like him just like what? Is he like have his like dick all flopping around and shit? I really don't want to see those. So no, I'll pass on that. I will pass. I appreciate the offer. His ex-wife, he didn't trade up for Fanny. I know I've seen the picture of his ex-wife. Like, he didn't, he wasn't getting the new model year when it came to her. Can you imagine someone putting together a PowerPoint on your private life? That PowerPoint would be massive. They need a terabyte hard drive just to get it going. If you're gonna do dirt or sleep with dirt, leave your phone at home. Remember, though, they can tell when you leave your phone at home, Charlie. So, gotta be careful when you do that. That is a problem. You know what? Yeah, we're not gonna do this tonight. So, the bigger issue is make sure you don't lie. It's a better plan, and have a smart, just be able to think about things. Fanny filed a response later this afternoon. She did. I did not see that, and I'm not sure how to get a hold of it. So I was just talking super fast. What the heck? Tilly says, what if you regularly don't take your phone with you? Well, then you're going to have to show that's a common thing. Yes, Nunya Bitness, yes. Murph's Turf, can you send it to me? I would appreciate it. And then if you have the one with the exhibits, let me know. I'd love to look at those. It's potentiallycriminal@gmail.com. It should be down below. Sula says VPNs for phone. It's not a VPN for your phone because now you would have to figure out how to spoof cell data in the cell towers, and you wouldn't be allowed to do that. I mean, the only other way around that would be, using if you're really trying to avoid communications that would leave no record, you basically are going to need to start using shit like this. You'd have to use like a ham radio, because that's the only way you could get around shit. And how do we know that worked? Because in the Russiagate people, as far as Crossfire Hurricane and everything, people involved in that, Nelly or Bruce or those scumbags, they used like Baofeng radios and ham radios, because you know what? When I fire this up and I'm on the ham frequencies, guess what? There is no tracking, there is no documentation, because this radio isn't documented like that.
Frequency mode.
So when you turn this fucker on,
frequency mode,
you get this little bitch going, there's no way to track this stuff. Ham is easy to crack. Well, yes, if you're getting intercepted, sure. But if you know I'm not using it, until you know I'm using this and you can intercept the signal, if I use it right now and talk to one of you guys on the ham frequency, and then I don't use it again anytime soon, you have no idea it ever occurred. It's like it never happened. So there's can you trunk on ham? No, you're not allowed to do encrypted transmissions on those. That's something you're supposed to do, but I bet if you're doing limited burst packet transmissions of encrypted data, you probably could get away with it, but you have to be very quick about it. There's still 100% tracking recording. I think you'd be able to get away with a little bit more here, especially if you did random quick things. But yes, if you did this all the time, that's the problem with communications. When you set a pattern, or if you have good information security and OPSEC, you get lazy like these guys did. They didn't have extra phones and ways to hide that. They didn't pay for cash to use burners. Like, they weren't smart about doing all this stuff. Strider says draft emails never sent and deleted afterwards. That's already been done. The FBI has caught and stung Al-Qaeda groups and terrorist organizations. They would use an email account like a dead drop. They would sign in, write a message, save it as a draft. Somebody would read the draft, delete the message. That's already been done more than once, and the FBI's caught on to that, and they've caught those guys. So that's really hard to do. I'm just saying. So doing a shared email address is not. It sounds good, but very quickly they will find it out. If they, if like the government wants to investigate you, they'll find your email address, and then they'll look through that and they'll get the deleted emails. So that's the yeah. Yeah. So do I have bed hair? Well, I also been wearing headphones all day. And Bitter Klinger's right. I mean, unless they know to be looking for you, they won't have a reason to find you. But that'll very quickly go away because eventually, if you get under the attention of certain people, they'll know you own one of these and they'll start looking for you. So this is really great until you get found out. But this is a very good, effective. Like if Fani Willis and Nathan Wade had been using these, and these two fucking retards wouldn't know what the hell this shit. They wouldn't. They go, "What's a boo thing?" They had used one of these. I guarantee you, we would have never known a goddamn thing they did. So the problem is, you would have to think that far ahead that this was going to become a problem, and that's kind of the hard part. That's kind of the hard part. So, CIA caught Al-Qaeda guys in a Call of Duty chat. Yeah, that happens too. There have been games where they've set up game lobbies and they're talking in the games. Like, yeah, there are ways you can do this stuff, but when you develop these methods of communication, you can only use them for so long before they're compromised. And if you keep using them and you never upgrade or switch to new things, that's when you get hit. What are the odds a judge will admit this evidence in the hearing? I think that, well, he's probably going to have to, because now we have evidence that Fani committed perjury or Nathan Wade committed perjury. Someone lied, is not telling the truth. Well, that creates a lot of problems. There's the issues with Terrence Bradley and the whole, like, the judge even said at the end, I don't think he asserted privilege properly. I don't think he knows what the hell he's doing. So, yeah, there's probably going to be more evidence brought in. Now, do I think ultimately something's going to happen? I don't know. I'm still kind of on the doomer side of things. But this is more and more and more and more shit that's piling up, which I think will change things ultimately. J-Rock says, I assume everything I do on my phone will be public record. Yes. Assume everything you do on your phone or on your computer will be seen by the police at some point. And maybe by the world. So, but yeah, as I said, Strider, the idea of using emails as a dead drop, don't do that. That's already been done. You're gonna have to come up with some, really the only thing that you do that's not crackable are like one-time cipher pads. But then it comes down to your operational security and one-time cipher pads and, very, very limited communications. But if it's electronic, you're probably going to get busted. So with that kind of is our tie into being a dissident operator. Sheriff Fox, did they drop a bunch of N-bombs? I don't know. That would be hilarious. Nero Anonymous says, I use the name Chatbar on YouTube right now. I'm using potentially criminal. Thank you. The government's never going to look here. Used to be able to change all the chips in the cell. Never forget what they took from us. Yeah. Yeah. Pull a stringer bell. The email said, thank you. I'll look for it real quick. So he says, I am a prepper. No, not. I wouldn't consider myself a prepper. Just somebody who's, someone who understands there's good things to learn and, it's fun stuff to learn. So eventually you might become a big game of hide and seek. Zaven says, I'm down with a crypto analysis stream. Well, there's some people out there I might be able to talk to who can. So the other people have asked me, like, can we do a stream about these radios and stuff like that and comms and things like that? Because it's not only just that, but it's like, using one of these and having one of these available and knowing how to use it when, like, the cell network goes down because there have been massive disruptions across the country this past week. They were temporary, but still, like, let's say it's out for a week. How are you going to communicate with people? PGP is pretty good encryption and an encryption type. Yeah, but PGP has been since broken by the government. So, how many pounds of rice and beans do I have stored? That's not for you to know. Let me see here. All right. Where am I looking? Oh, hold on. I got to open up my Gmail. PGP is not broken if you're using S. I don't know if I buy that. I mean, part of the, yes. So PGP was a encryption called Pretty Good Privacy. The guy who created it actually got in trouble with the U.S. government because he made such a private encryption program that was so good, the government considered it a weaponized munition. Which you might think, wait, that's considered a weapon? Yes. Algorithms, kernels, things like that can be considered munitions in certain situations in regards to export purposes, meaning you might need government permission to export it or take it outside the country. Well, they tried to do that to him, and he fought it on First Amendment grounds and won. So PGP was then allowed to be used and distributed. I think part of that is the government probably has cracked PGP. I mean, there's very few things that haven't been. And to be fair, if you're using comms, you should presume your communications are vulnerable and can be compromised at any point in time. Nothing's bulletproof. Nothing's fireproof. But that's why, to avoid those issues, you have like white side comms, like you have layers of communication you'll use. Things are used for white side communications up on the surface, out in the open. Things are used for black communications where you're trying to be a little bit sneaky, do a little sneaky breaky. And then for like the red, and you're like completely like full on, it's on mode. Sets of communications that don't overlap. So hopefully you have a chance to not get schwacked in a drone strike right away. Say. Oh, T-Reed says buy a 72-hour bag. Honestly, instead of a 72-hour bag, you're better off buying like, Google what those contain and buy the crap yourself, because those 72-hour bags are not necessarily the best stuff. And you can find better equivalents. And also buy a couple of 5-gallon buckets, get them filled with rice and beans. Or just start that money from that 72-hour bag and start buying extra food when you go to the grocery store. Doesn't even have to be a lot. Extra can of food. An extra can of food or two. Some extra, build it up. It doesn't take long to have enough food in a pantry for people to last for a couple of weeks. And then, just start building things up as you go. You can have a freezer stocked full of food that, okay, well, we're going to have to eat through that first if we lose power. Okay, well, great. You can eat that and be done. But having canned food around, having canned meat around, you can learn how to can, or you can start just buying up supplies and just buy a little extra here or there. And eventually you got a lot. So that's your moment of preparation. So we'll move on. So, God, hopefully nobody leaves, because I'm sure that'll. All right. So let me see here. Okay, thank you. I got everything. Okay, and the bad cop link. Thank you so much for sending those. Okay, we've got I gotta open this up. Why is this not opening? What? Hold on here. Okay, we got Fani Willis's response. We're gonna do this one. 48 pages. Holy shit, she mad. Holy fuck, they mad. They mad as fuck, guys. Oh wow. Fanny got a little upsetty there. So, oh boy. That's okay, so let me see if I can open this in Okay, good. I got it. All right. So we have a Cellhawk an analytics here. We got to open this up real quick. We're gonna go to that first. We'll bring this up first so we can see the Cellhawk analytics. Here we go. Okay, so this is the Cellhawk analytics. And this is the heat map. Ooh, I bet there was a lot of heat there with Fanny and Nate Dogg. Although technically, there was their own Nate the lawyer. Oh no, not you, Nate. Nate, I love you, man. I'm just saying his name's Nathan and he's a lawyer. So, yeah, look at the time frames here from like 5 o'clock onwards into the evening hours. Ooh-wee. Interesting. Yeah, thank you so much for sending this, Murph. All right, so we're going to get to getting back to Fani's response here. All right, so let's see what Fani's going to say here. So we're going through this. Okay, so it's all the parties, which I think is just obnoxious. You have to list them all out. Why can't you just like et al? I don't know. Because that's how I would write it. Now, you guys are saying it's in all caps. This is normal. When you title something, everything's in caps. Okay? So they're objecting to this. They're objecting it's in violation of the Georgia statutes 24702 and the Daubert principles. And the court's own standing case management order for criminal cases. Okay, so they're complaining. This has been properly submitted to the court. Violating Daubert v. Merrill Dow Pharmaceuticals. And that's where we get the Daubert hearings, or Daubert. And the court's own standing case order for criminal cases. Well, they point out that the exhibit contains telephone records that have not been admitted in evidence and an affidavit and other documents that containing an unqualified opinion evidence. Really? Is it really that unqualified? I don't know about that. The court must exclude the inadmissible proposed exhibit from consideration, or at minimum, it must also consider the state's rebuttal evidence that demonstrates the unreliability of the unqualified opinion. Okay, well, I'm sure they're going to explain why this isn't good. So while Trump proposed cleverly avoids the use of the term expert, no, it's clear that the submission is an attempt to have the court properly receive unqualified opinion evidence as expert testimony. They point out the case management order, which these are actually very important. Helps you figure out what you're doing. Any party seeking to rely on expert testimony at trial or any evidentiary hearing must provide written notice to the opposing party. This notice must include a meaningful summary of the expert's testimony, as well as his or her qualifications to serve as an expert witness. This must be provided at least 14 days before the final plea, trial calendar, and 7 days before any evidentiary hearing requiring expert testimony. Well, I don't know how they would have known they needed it because they weren't anticipating you committing perjury. Also, I think if they really wanted to, they could argue this is being offered as rebuttal, but also more of impeachment evidence. Although it's a supplemental exhibit, so I don't really. J-Rock, I don't know. I don't know how this would work down there if this is a standard order. I'm trying to think how they would argue around this, but I'm sure they have an idea on how to do it. Trump has attorneys that work down that way, so. So yeah, T, were you saying all caps totally normal? That's totally normal for a caption on a case when you're trying to caption your documents. The document said it was provided to each party. Yeah, but here's the thing. The documents provided to each party, they're talking about the certificate of service. And that's what you're talking about, Nunya. And that's what you're talking about here. This part here. And that's the, where is it? Where is that thing at? Where is... Yeah, certification here. That this has been provided to all parties. Yeah, that's not what they're talking about. Providing service when you file something is normal. Now, we got to get... Where is it? Damn, I have so many tabs of this shit open right now. Okay. So 7 days before any evidentiary hearing requiring expert testimony. Okay. So yes, they've met that part. 7 days before the evidentiary hearing. So March 1st, there's going to be another hearing. So they met that part. Okay. This notice must be provided at least. So they haven't provided a notice to the opposing party. It's a meaningful summary of the expert's testimony as well as his or her qualifications to serve as an expert witness. Yes, but I think there's going to be a fair argument. This is only because the witnesses from the state committed perjury, and it's taken them this long to put it all together to figure out if there's anything at all to look into. I think that's the issue because it took them a while, and it took the defense a while to get the subpoena put together, to serve it on AT&T. You know, they have that ability because they are in a criminal case. Getting court subpoenas is easy, subpoenaing the records. I think it is a very good argument to say, we're only doing this because they're committing perjury. We weren't, there's only so much we can do at a time. But these orders are orders. You live and die by orders. You live and die by the rules. I could see this becoming an issue. Technicalities and the genie going back in the fanny. Yeah, well, I mean, those technicalities are rules. So that's where I'm kind of stuck on this. I don't know how, I mean, that's the argument I would make if I'm Trump's team. Written notice to the opposing party. What? We think you're committing perjury, so we're sneaking around to get you caught. I don't know how that would work. Yeah, and I think this is fair. How do we know that they were going to commit perjury? Sure. I think that's a fair argument. Because really, it was only last week. And if we go back to last week, it was like the 16th. So on the 15th, they sent out the subpoena like the first day of the hearing. And they got things back and they've been digging through and trying to get stuff done. So, I mean, that's how I would make the argument. So I think this is not as strong as Fani and the team and Fani and the gang think it is. Where is... Oh, right here. So, this violates the court mandate in 4 ways. Okay, Trump provided no written notice. No, it's in bold. They're serious. 2, no summary of the purported expert's testimony, which is typically what you do. You offer a summary of what he's going to talk about. 3, the defendant provided no information relating to qualifications of the witness, serve as an expert. And some of you might say, well, it's provided in his affidavit, and you have to provide it independently and notice. And 4, no notice was provided at least 7 days before the evidentiary hearing. That would begin on February 15th, 2024. If that's how they're going to make this argument, I'm surprised they aren't saying, in case the judge wants us to do stuff on March 1st, we haven't had exactly 7 days. But no, they're claiming that this is the date. Well, how were they going to know we're going to commit perjury? They have the right to assume you're going to tell the truth. Unless the state wants to admit, like, no, you have to assume we're going to be crooked. At the conclusion of the hearing, counsel for Trump stated, and this is where they pointed out, we're in the process, if the court allows us, to obtain cell phone records. Well, the court didn't deny it. The court issued, they were allowed to get a subpoena. We like the record kept open for the introduction of those records. We have them in draft form and formally. We don't have certification of them. And they would deal with, you'll remember I asked Mr. Wade about certain activity down in Hapeville during the time period. It deals with the specific time period. We're talking about February or March 2021 through November 1st. We went to if what we believe is based on our preliminary research, and that was the other thing. They were still digging through all the data. We'd like to reopen and introduce those records as someone to explain what they mean. And then, so Ashley Merchant, the counsel for defendant Roman, also stated, as soon as we got a hearing date in the state's response to what happened, when the state responded February 9th and admitted to the relationship but put parameters on the timing, I sent subpoenas out in response to that. The problem is Delta, AT&T, and these folks aren't super fast about it. I know Delta, we're also waiting. I wanted to remind the court, waiting for those records to be submitted in camera. And AT&T actually emailed me these phone records yesterday morning on the way to court. So I'm not sure what they think this is going to do for them. Representations made by counsel for Trump and Roman make clear very relevant facts. Defense counsel issued subpoenas for the records on or about February 9th. Defense counsel had the subpoena telephone records in their positions at least as early as February 15th. And 3, counsel always intended to attempt to introduce both the records and an expert witness to explain what they mean. In spite of this, Trump made no effort to comply with the court's own standing management case order for criminal cases. Trump provided no written statement in advance of the hearing, provided no summary, and provided no information regarding expert qualifications. The court's standing orders to prevent parties from ambushing opposing counsel with expert evidence without allowing opposing counsel an opportunity to review the evidence, review the report and the qualifications, and get their own expert. Well, I'm sure that, I'm curious to see their expert's going to say, nuh-uh. Fanny paid me in $500. I did it. It's like, I'm sure that's what they're going to say here. Court cannot allow Trump to bypass his failure. All parties coming forward to court must be treated equally. Treating cases alike promotes a system of equal treatment under the law and rather than one built of arbitrary discretion. The fact that the fact Fanny's citing this is a fucking joke. Holy shit, you be clown yourself, woman. So they point out this is improperly submitted and violating the Daubert rule. It cannot be considered. The Georgia evidence rules regarding laying expert testimony and applying the provisions of state law. The provisions shall apply in all proceedings with limited exceptions that do not apply here. Trump now seeks to supplement Exhibit 38, which contains, among other things, an affidavit of a witness that consists of opinions based on scientific, technical, and specialized knowledge within the scope of Rule 702. This type of opinion testimony is specifically prohibited if a witness has been not qualified as an expert. No exceptions exist under Georgia law. Prior to providing expert testimony, the court must make each of the following findings based on evidence of the record. His technical, scientific, or specialized knowledge. The testimony is based upon sufficient data. Product of reliable principles and methods, and that has been reliably applied in the principles and methods to the facts of the case. And it is true. The party advancing the expert has the burden of establishing their admissibility. That is entirely true there. So it's on Trump and his team to get this in. So here we go. I mean, that's where I'm kind of stuck on this. I'm still trying to figure out what. I mean, this could be an issue, but once again, with Fani's team, I'm sure they're misinterpreting orders here because it's not like this is the first time they lied. Here, none of the findings have been made by the court. No timely, competent evidence that complies with the court's management order exists in the record that would establish even one of the factors as the law requires. Indeed, Trump has provided no competent evidence whatsoever that would establish Middlestad as a fact and expert in anything. Moreover, the telephone records at issue themselves, which form the basis of the purported expert testimony, are not properly in evidence. No one has authenticated the telephone records at issue. The certificate of authenticity of domestic records pursuant to Federal Rules of Evidence 902.11 and 902.13 is insufficient. Rule 902 for the Georgia evidence states that a party intending to offer business records and evidence under that code section shall make both the records and the declaration available for inspection sufficiently in advance to allow the party to challenge such record and declaration. Contemporaneously providing the certificate of authenticity and the telephone records after the close of evidence, well, they didn't know you were going to lie. They had a hunch, and they were still going through the data. Do you want them to provide you with preliminary data that hasn't been revised and cleaned up? Because you would probably shit your pants and scream about that if it happened. But I think this might be an area where Fani may have committed perjury, but I don't know if McAfee's going to allow it. This actually might be a problem. Now, I would defer to Sadow and Ashley Merchant and J-Rock. I know you're out there too. I think that this is an extra, this is a special situation, and I don't know if those case management orders would apply here, but if there's a way around this, I'm just not sure I see it. Maybe it's because I've been up all fucking day. I don't know. But I think this is actually kind of strong. Unless I'm wrong. Nunya says every attorney in Georgia where they use this taking notes, they'll be ready for the state using Cellhawk. Yeah, but to be fair, they're mad they weren't given the time to review the data, and they have the right to review the data, though. That's the thing. They have the right to review the data. So for them to say we didn't get a chance to review it, that's actually a critical thing, especially when you're going to use an expert witness like this. You do have the right to demand it. Although I would argue any issues of this were created because of the state's own witnesses lying that fostered all this. You're saying, no, this is all messed up for the DA. Okay. Like I said, I'm trying to think my way through this here. I'm not. Hella says you're never wrong. Well, here's the thing. Yes, I am. I'm wrong frequently, okay? Like I tell you guys, I am not F. Lee Bailey. I am not the closest thing to it. And what was I going to say? It's been a little long here. No, I mean, to think you can't get things wrong, especially as an attorney, that's when you fuck up the most. Like, oh, I've got this. It's impenetrable. I said this before, like when Joe's debated that guy Pisco, like he said, oh, somebody's got it unassailable. The Supreme Court of Colorado is unassailable. Nobody's unassailable. Nothing's bulletproof. Unsinkable ships fucking sink all the fucking time. The Bismarck was supposed to be unsinkable, and look what happened. The Berlin Wall was never supposed to fall, and it happened. All the kinds of shit you say will never happen fucking happen. So I'm not trying to get mad at y'all. I'm just saying never, always, and never. The word always and the word never are two of the most dangerous words you can utter. They are very powerful and they're very dangerous. Something always happens or something never happens. Really? Like never, ever, 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 ever happens or something always happens. It's always going to happen. They'll never, it's a dangerous set of words, always and never. You set yourself up for a lot of fucking failure. And if you build upon those two words, that's very dangerous work. I will say that much. Murph's saying they're mad they weren't given time to review data, and they have that right. Generally speaking, you have the right to bitch and moan about it. If this is to provide breathing space for Fani to write a resignation letter to try to keep the case from being dismissed, she lied, she's done. Well, yeah, she's out. She's toast. Even if she resigns, the taint is there. So her leaving doesn't change the taint. I still think the office is tossed. Her quitting doesn't save the day here. June saying, it's good to see you, June. Is saying, what about the judge's wife donating to Fani's election campaign? That's not, that's a politics thing. You donate to people and you donate to this judge and that judge or this or that. Attorneys make donations all the time. There's some places where, it's like if you donate to a judge you're in front of all the time. You're like, I'm not saying like there's no promise that would help you, but you know what? You might throw like $100 here or there because you know what? It might buy you some goodwill. And then that might help your client get some goodwill out of it. Like that's just the nature of things. But remember, he also worked for Fani at some point. So he's like, yeah, you know what? She was still my boss. People do have some sense of loyalty there. But I don't think he's like, oh my God, yes, Fani, what would you like me to do when he gets home? He's like, you're right. Orange man bad. Click. It's not like that. But, we've seen this. These attorneys all know each other. The judge probably has worked with these guys or against these guys. So it's hard when you're dealing with a massive case and you're dealing with high-powered, like, the fucking pipe hitters. It creates a mess in that part alone. Josh is saying the DA isn't contesting the accusations and they're beating this on procedural grounds. Yeah, but you know what? The rules are the rules, and if you can use the rules to your advantage, goddamn, you do use the rules to your advantage. I'm the first guy to sit there, and I will use the rules to my advantage, but I'm also the first guy to turn around and say, Judge, there's exceptions to the rule. Like, when they aren't in my favor, I'm the first guy to stand up and scream, but I got a good reason why we shouldn't follow the rules. That's the nature of being an attorney, being able to just turn around about face and start shooting the other direction without skipping a beat. The rules are the rules, and within the next thing, they do something immediately. Like, wait, the rules need to be bent, Judge. You got to do it, and sometimes you get away with it. But that's you work with what you got. It creates a landmine in the DA's office. It can't be let stand. Yeah, no, I agree. This causes them problems because they already know Cell Hawk is good. The problem is you can't really use. There's going to be limits of what you can say. Like, well, you allow it in these other cases. It's been accepted in these other cases. I think, yeah, there's going to be a limit there. And I'm, like I said, they've shown the proof at the beginning of this to say, look, he's qualified and you guys know this shit's good. So does this defeat some of the problems? Yes. But I was wondering this case management order. I don't know what they're going to try to monkey with that. Hella says, then you're wrong. Thank you. How do you get out of tech evidence? This isn't good for Fani. Wait, how do you get out of tech? Wait, out of tech evidence? How do you get out of the? Yeah, I mean, there's an issue because I think there's a lot of good arguments they can make. I'm just not sure how this is going to play out. But that's also, I'm a little bit of a doomer when it comes to being things as an attorney. There's times where I'm fired up, but I'm always cautious. And I feel like that cautiousness makes me like work harder and prepare harder, but I'm always prepared shit's not going to go right. The Berlin Wall didn't fall down, it was torn down. Okay, but you know what I mean. Nobody thought the Berlin Wall would come down, and guess what? It did all of a sudden one night. I'm not Das Boot, that's a fair one. I'm yeah. Always was a word we use in promises. It is valueless. Hemingway. That's a good. I like that. Justin Smith said, Sean's on. No one tells me this. Yeah. YouTube's afraid. That's what they do. Everyone donated her. I did. Paul Howard had to go. Well, yeah. See, there you go. J-Rock, the leader of my cult, not cult, more like a Serbian paramilitary or death squad. He donated to Fani. Can we trust J-Rock, chat? I don't know. But yes, that is an issue. But the guy before Fani was so fucking bad, everybody wanted him out. They're willing to deal with Fani, and then they realized Fanny's a big piece of shit too. But the guy had to go. Miss Merchants donated a campaign for Wade. Yeah. That's what I mean. These guys are there. 100. I gave her 300. You gave her 100 3 times. I bet a little in and out and in and out and in and out, J-Rock, huh? I don't want to be on the did not donate list. Yeah, and that's true. That's a thing, guys. And I'm not joking. That's a thing. You don't want to be on the did not donate list and scratching out a check for like $100. You don't have to like go in there and sink like $1,000 into a judge's campaign, but like, yeah, here's like $75, judge. They notice who sends checks in. They know that stuff. Fulton County is the minefield. Yeah. Marjorie Smith saying everyone thought Fani would do right because she was a defense attorney for the rappers. She turned around and screwed them over using what she had learned, so they say. Oh, certainly. She used, she's being an opportunist. J-Rock says, how do you defeat a cell phone tower? Are you talking about when I was talking about like how to use like covert communications? Or are you talking about like defeating the expert? Sean Serbian Tigers, yes. Simple and clean cult, yes. And J-Rock is saying y'all have no appreciation of the level of graft and corruption here, and that's the thing. I don't. And I like I said, I speak with J-Rock in jest. I'm giving him a hard time, but no, the corruption in Atlanta, Georgia, is unfathomable to me. I mean, you learn about it and you read about it, but you know that's still not the whole thing. So, yeah. But no, J-Rock, I totally get you there. Yeah, you got to do what you got to do down that way. So, this is movie level, but more entertaining. Oh, so let's keep reading here, though, guys. We got to get through this. Sorry, we would drag dicking along. I'm sorry. Too many side actions here. We got to keep going. Keep it focused. It's not sufficiently advanced notice to provide a state with a fair opportunity to challenge the records in the declaration. Well, you can challenge it now. You got a week. The court should not excuse Trump's failure to apply with Rule 902 when it's clear from the record Trump subpoenaed the records as February 9th and had both the records and the declaration in his possession by February 15th. Rather than providing notice to the state at that time, he never provided notice and instead now attempting to ambush the state, which I don't really care if the state's getting ambushed too much because of the state. In advance of the scheduling closing arguments to provide the state an opportunity to rebut. Well, I mean, I guess lying and going up there committing perjury saying that's not true is the problem here. But what do I know? What do I know? Court should not now reopen the evidence. Well, he didn't say he wasn't going to stop them, so I think it's open. Disregard its own standing order. Well, he didn't tell them of that. He left it open by not saying no. And allowed Trump the opportunity to qualify Middlestad as an expert witness when it has declined to do so, and when it's declined to do the same in other cases. Well, this is in other cases. This is in other cases. All parties coming before this court must be treated equally. You're treating these defendants equally, Fani? I know you ain't, girl. I know you ain't. They're saying if the court determines it can be untimely proposed, can be considered, the court must also consider the state's rebuttal evidence. And you know what? That's the easiest thing here. Fine, we'll bring our own shit in. So they're saying if we get to do that, we have the right to come in. When the state attempted to impeach the testimony of defense witness Terrence Bradley concerning the circumstance surrounding his departure from the Wade Bradley Campbell firm, the court ruled the state cannot introduce extrinsic evidence to contradict Bradley's testimony for the purpose of impeachment. Yeah, you can't use extrinsic evidence for the purpose of impeachment. Here, Trump intends to do the same thing, introduce extrinsic evidence purportedly to contradict Nathan Wade's testimony. See, that's not true. That's not true. Terrence Bradley was used to contradict Nathan Wade's testimony. Fani Willis was used to contradict Nathan Wade's testimony. Floyd Willis, or whatever the hell Fanny's dad's name was used to contradict Nathan Wade's testimony. This is just a supplement. Multiple things have been used to contradict Nathan Wade's testimony. I mean, literally every fucking thing was used to contradict his testimony. Merce Turf says she told them she got the data on the 15th. Did they ask for it? No, but that's, the more importantly, I'd point out the judge did not say at that hearing, the judge said, okay, well, we can work on that. He didn't say, you're not allowed to bring this in. What the fuck are you doing? So that's a very, I think the judge may allow it then. After I'm thinking about how that hearing went, the judge was not saying, records are closed. He said it sounded like he agreed to keep the record open, I would argue. So let's keep going here, though. The court did not allow the state to impeach with extrinsic evidence. It cannot allow Trump to do the same thing. They're not, though. All parties who come to court must be treated equally. When you keep doing this, that's not actually a sign of strength, in my opinion. You keep, if you keep doing that, it's like you're just copy and pasting that sentence on just like a fucking, that's not good, in my opinion. I don't think you're not carrying the banner that day. If the court determines that it can consider Trump's records, the phone records simply do not prove anything relevant. The records do nothing more than demonstrate that Prosecutor Wade's telephone was located somewhere within a densely populated multi-mile radius where various residents, restaurants, bars, and nightclubs and other businesses are located. Really? That's your argument? Where did he go? What's around there? Notice they closed it down as tight as they could. I do love how they use this. This is not proper. If you're doing this in a legal document, this is fucking lolcow, sovereign citizen fucking nuttery here. You don't do this. I've never done this, and I would chat. I would be fucking mortified as an attorney if I did. I'd be mortified fucking doing this. Underlined in bold. This is borderline fucking embarrassing. I would be fucking embarrassed to sign my name to shit like this. It's one thing to have a bold underlined word. Okay, fine. But to have an entire part of a paragraph like this Oh my God, look at this thing. Look at this thing. And then there's in all caps. This is fucking pathetic. This is Bush League. You don't do this. You don't do this. You don't have to do this. Just like, holy shit. But anyway, we got to do it in their voice. The records do not prove in any way the content of the communications between Special Prosecutor Wade and District Attorney Willis. They do not provide that Special Prosecutor Wade was ever at any particular location or address. They do not prove that Special Prosecutor Wade and District Attorney Willis were ever in the same place during any of these times listed in the exhibit. And in fact, on multiple dates and times, evidence clearly demonstrates that Willis was elsewhere, including work at the Fulton County District Attorney's office. At fucking 3:30 in the morning on a fucking Saturday? Bullshit. And visiting the the 3 crime scenes where a mass murder motivated by race and gender had taken place. Oh my God. Oh no. Oh no. Evil racist white men killing people. Oh no. No. This you could get a judge might sanction you for this. If I wrote out like this, I would expect a judge to ask me what the fuck my problem was. At the very least, to mock me for this. But I would expect to this is not proper. This is, that is very demeaning to do it like this. It's insulting to do it this way. It's almost like you're trying to say, listen, you're a fucking listen. Like, it's the whole listen, Linda thing. Listen, honey, Linda, listen to me. It's like you're trying to act like you're talking to a 7-year-old. This is not the way you do this. I'd be fucking mortified to send this in. You could put this all in, think about it. If this was all just like in this font, you'd be like, well, that's kind of powerful. But like this fucking reads like some fucking Melinda Scott shit. Yes, Brian Stelter's in the house. Yes, Pisshead Philistines is like, yes, listen, asshole. J-Rock said it's sad to see Fani destroy your career. I guess I'll tell it like this to you, J-Rock. It's probably, it's like other things we're kind of dealing with now. Did this present her with the opportunity to destroy herself, or was she the type of person that was bound to do this anyway? Power corrupts, but it also reveals who you really are and really were. So she's just revealed her true nature to y'all. I mean, yeah, it sucks watching people implode, but it sounds like this is who she was already at the end of the day. Raised by a violent Marxist communist. Like, yeah, it happens. Yes, Hubbleson says, guys, a hate crime happened nearby. We can't use any of the evidence. Shut it down. So, Hubble says, how dare you look at me when I'm working hate crimes? Wade was at Ass Street. Oh, yeah, I'm sure he was at the Hershey Highway. Just covered up in salt. We need bold chat. Yes. Yes, there's enough salt here to keep the roads clean in Georgia forever. All right, so let's keep going, guys. Hold on here. What is... So we're going to keep going here, and they got more to talk about here. They talk about, oh, this is not in good faith. Oh, I'm sure this is so horrible. These people are so bad and so mean, guys. That was not filed in good faith. Simply attempt to garner media attention. Yes, finding out the district attorney committed perjury is, oh, this is just a media trick. Well, some might argue this whole indictment was a media trick, but, tomato, tomato. There's nothing more an attempt to garner salacious headlines in the media. Well, probably is. This is a fight on multiple fronts. And the information front, the PR front, is no different. See Exhibit D, New York Post article. What that whatever. Some of these headlines, including the attached, were patently false, and many others were misleading. Simultaneous with the filing, counsel for Trump immediately provided unredacted cell records, which contained personal identifying information, Prosecutor Wade and District Attorney Willis, to members of the media. See Steve Sadow's email. Well, good. Fuck it. Fuck y'all. Fuck y'all, bitches. Let me ask Fani, do you feel in control? Do you feel like you're in control? Funny. Portions of Trump's 38 include cell phone records where personal identifying information was distributed on social media. Oh, well. Trump includes an attempt to introduce evidence by affidavit, even though Trump insisted the state was disallowed from doing so and compelled Wade to testify. Okay, great. Yeah, they're going to argue something they're allowed to do, you're not allowed to do. Like, that's how this works. Like I said, guys, I'm allowed to say the rules apply to me and they don't to you. I'm going to do that wherever I can. If I can box you out, I'll box you out. Sadow's contact information has been redacted from this exhibit at the direction of District Attorney Willis to protect his safety. A courtesy she was not provided. She's got a security team. She doesn't need more safety. She already got some dudes with guns. Exhibit 38 fails to comply with the court's standing order and evidentiary rules regarding notice for qualification expert witnesses. Moreover, of the state questions whether Trump legally obtained cell site information, which is generally only obtainable. Notice, generally. That word's doing a lot of heavy lifting right there. Obtainable after finding probable cause and issuance of a search warrant. Yeah. That's it depends what they got. It depends what they got, but that's Kimmy Joe says there's no DA in the world that will go to a crime scene in the middle of the night. That's not true. That's not true. Especially like if you live in a rural area or a small office where it's just like the prosecutor and like maybe a handful of assistants. And there's like a big murder. Yeah, they might show up. That's not uncommon. Or if there's a mass like a crash and multiple people are dead and it looks like an OVI or something, that's not uncommon. And in big cities, they have like prosecutors who are on call. Now, those guys won't prosecute the case because there's, issues they might be a witness, but they show up and are help make sure the investigation's going along and there's no problems. Like, that's not uncommon at all to be like on call or having to show up somewhere. J-Rock says, up until Trump, she was totally fine. A good attorney and a good trial lawyer. Oh, really? I mean, that TDS breaks people. That's the thing. Trump, that people, it's going after the white whale. That's that white, they get fixed in. They're like, they see the orange whale flick his tail in the water and they're like, I need to get him. So sadly, I'm doing pretty good. I'm on Rumble. Cool. That's awesome. Did she listen to a Vosh video? Everything is bad faith. Yes. I can read this on Rumble. It's blurry here. Oh, okay. Well, I'm not sure why it's fighting here. It says he had a subpoena. Well, yeah, that's the thing. If they served a subpoena, you know, I mean, are they arguing that the defense should have had a search warrant? Because they don't get warrants. The defense uses subpoenas. Yeah, I don't know how she's gonna. Yeah, I don't know how she's gonna make that argument that this was improperly obtained if they served court orders on someone, a court subpoena, and the subpoena was complied with. I mean, but yes, notice they generally is doing all hell. We're doing a lot of lifting right there. You know, let's go for the PR and the squat. It's dipping deep in the squat rack. It's clear that Trump's proposed exhibit is inadmissible, was not filed in good faith. Oh yeah, because you know good faith, Fani. Should not be considered. Reasons set below, they must exclude Trump's inadmissible proposed exhibit 38. Fani Willis, District Attorney, the Hotlanta Judicial Circuit. Signed by Adam Abadi, which we talked about before. There's a Georgia Supreme Court case where it appears he pressured a witness into changing their testimony, helped that witness get a favorable resolution, then lied about it. So yeah, that guy. Chief Deputy District Attorney. Now, to be fair, the attorney who brought this up, Andrew Fleischman, was bringing it up, and he said, people brought up, well, hey, it was in his past. Sure. And, people can change, but in a situation like this where it's like, who's the most righteous among the, can we find righteous men in Sodom or Gomorrah before we level it? That's a big thing. Like, God told him, find me an innocent man or I'll destroy the town. He said, find me 2 innocent men or I'll destroy the town. I don't know, guys. Sorry, it's not a biblical channel, but, Christ is Kang. I will say that much. Ninja some bro. So, State of Georgia, the amended standing criminal case management order. Okay. In McAfee's division. For all cases, general. Communication shall be in writing email to the litigation manager. Oh, that's a fancy title. Email the court via at the appearance of counsel attorneys are required to find an email address. If you do not personally check your emails, you must arrange to have your emails forwarded to someone in your office who will be responsible for checking them and informing you of the message documents that have been sent. That's nice because a lot of people especially boomer attorneys, like, I don't check emails. It's like, well, fucking, you better start reading them, Grandpa. Okay, and that's the thing. Case management orders, courts do these to say, here's how we do every case in my courtroom. This is not abnormal. Courts all over the place. And remember I told you guys, you have your rules of evidence and you have your rules of procedure, all those things. And then you get to the local rules of court. So in Fulton County, they're going to have local rules of court. But then each judge might have their own rules on top of that. So there's a million different things you have to make sure you comply with. And it's not just, like I said, it can vary from courtroom to courtroom in the same courthouse. Not super drastically, but enough that if you fuck it up, they're going to be like, are you too retarded to read? And you're going to expect you to know this ahead of time. Or if you can kind of get away with it once or twice you show up. You're like, hey, look, it's my first time here. Like, I'm kind of like, is there anything I need to know and comply with or any rules? Sorry, I'm a big old moron. Like, I just had to do that on Thursday. I was in a court I hadn't been to before over on the west side of Cleveland before. And I'm going to be like, hey, look, I haven't been over here before. Like, I'm just a simple lawyer from the east side. And they're like, oh, you're so cute. No, you're fine, honey. It's like, perfect. So the plea and arraignment, here's how he wants to do pleas and arraignments. Scheduling order discovery. Okay. Extensions, compelling discovery, experts. This is where they talked about the expert. This is where they got that thing they cited. Okay. So they include it, but we get it. It's there, Fani. But let's see what they're going to attack here. Exhibit B. Certificate of authenticity of domestic records pursuant to Federal Rules of Evidence 902. Okay. Let's see here. This is Keviandra Lang is the person in charge of the custodian of records. She's saying these records are authentic. They were made at near the time the occurrence of the matter from information transmitted. This is kept in the ordinary course of regularly conducted business to show that they are normal business records. They're made by AT&T as a regular practice. You have to show this to introduce business records, that they are normal records that are kept in the course of business. These records are generated by a normal process that produces an accurate result. And notice they're saying these things, guys, because it's hitting the things listed in 902.11 and 13. It's hitting that specific language. So that's why you look at it. Yeah. So the records were copied from electronic devices, storage mediums, files, tapes, whatever they have in the custody to ensure they're true duplicates of the originals. The system and process is regularly verified by AT&T and at all times pertinent. The records function properly and normally. And that's how you satisfy the rules of 902.11 and 902.13 of the Federal Rules of Evidence. So that's how you do that. Now, that's usually makes this good enough. Because remember, as I said, most states just basically copied and pasted the Federal Rules of Evidence and organized according to the Federal Rules of Evidence. And notice, yes, they bring up the date. February 15th, 2024. But this is before they had a chance to dig through all the data. They were still digging it. Cases presented. Oh, love the black bars of freedom. Everything redacted. Okay, correspondence. Redacted. More shit from Fani, redacted. More shit going redacted. So April 12th, 2021. Meeting with anti-corruption in the HR conference room. Okay, what? There's no I get this, but there's nothing on here. It says who puts down I'm gonna have my dude blow my back out later. But notice this doesn't have there's no times down here for that. Nothing having my homeboy come get up in my guts. There's none of that here. Okay, great. So what does this show? He couldn't have fucked her past 6 p.m. And how do you know she was here for these? She could have been at home on the phone. Remember, this is 2021. COVID's still fucking raging at that point. It's like Fanny's autism, just raging. So spa killings. Starting at FCDA office. Okay. That's not the time frame still. I don't see how this is going to work here. Zoom, the victims of the Zoom meetings. Okay. And the spa massacre victims update. Okay. Yeah, I don't think this helps her the way she thinks it does. I don't think this helps her the way she thinks it does here because this doesn't, I don't think this helps her. They're going to have to make their argument here because this is just all a bunch of redacted emails here. And this is from the New York Daily News showing that, they are banging and fucking. So that's already what we covered. Exhibit E. Let's see what this says. Okay, so here we go. Steve Sadow says, I inadvertently sent the unredacted cell phone records to Bill Rankin this morning. When I realized the error, I immediately contacted him and told him explicitly not to disclose to anyone else and not to publish the cell phone numbers or any protected information. Mr. Rankin, okay. So all that shit they were panicking about, he didn't protect the phone numbers. He literally called the reporter, and the reporter indicated he understood when not publish the cell phone numbers or addresses. It was my mistake alone. So Steve Sadow went ahead and did the thing. He's like, oopsie poopsie, but I fixed it. Did Fanny not want him to fix it? Come on, Fanny. Now you just look like you're fucking lying again. Why you always lying? Why you always lying? Oh my God, stop fucking lying. I mean, this makes you guys look like fucking assholes. Exhibit F. What's Exhibit F here? The heat map of Fani and Nathan Wade. Oh, yeah. Such heat. Such heat. I mean, notice because it's not just the 6 p.m. timeline, it's later in the night. Notice Fani's calendar doesn't have that later times. And notice that, and here's the thing. Where is it? You know, oh, they were at a crime where multiple people were killed. That 3 a.m. thing, how do you explain that away? What was Wade up to? What were you up to? All that shit you were screaming about in all caps, I don't see any of it there. I just see a bunch of redacted emails. Certificate of service. Okay. Fani's done. Yeah, I don't, there's nothing there I see that I'm like, oh, wow, that's some good shit. I did want to say, Murph, thank you for bringing that as some really good stuff. I appreciate it a lot. Let's see here. What do we got? Hold on, guys. Micah says that butt be chunky. The court should move to have a quick Daubert hearing and move on. They don't need a Daubert hearing. This stuff has already been accepted. It's widely known this has already been accepted by courts all over the country. Their office has used it. So no, there's no reason to have a Daubert hearing. This is going to get in. That's not a problem there. This is scientifically reliable data. Yeah, what is proved? None of this is 2 a.m. Yeah, exactly. Unless there's something there I'm missing. But like I said, I feel like I'm overthinking this then at this point. Wade still isn't divorced, Lamau. Yeah, he's not. Let's see here. What are we? Arson investigator saying Sadow is the epitome of plan for the worst, prepare for the best. Yes. CA Human for $10. Thank you. Thank you very much. I appreciate it. It's saying, I'd like to know what's behind the cabin question. Nathan sure did pause long enough before answering all that. Sato has all the receipts. Yeah, he does. All those questions they already knew the answers to. They wanted to see if Nathan knew the answers. There's a lot there. And I assume at some point they would go ahead. There's more to it. But I also think they have a lot of hunches that aren't 100% confirmed, but are pretty close. But even then, with that pretty close, these guys are snakes and can read out on you. Batman saying, Sean, I don't know if you remember, but we were disagreeing over this a while back. You were saying that they knew they had a bad case, and I thought they drank the Kool-Aid. Well, I'm convinced. Convinced they drank the Kool-Aid, or are you convinced they knew they had a bad case? Murphy's saying she didn't seem to understand what a hostile witness is or speculation objection while on the stand. Her comms to these attorneys are questionable. See, I'll defer to J-Rock. J-Rock said she was a good attorney. If he's saying that, I trust his, because I've spoken to him offline. I trust his, I trust his estimation of that. The problem is when you're on the stand, it's an entirely different world. She was up there. She was angry, pissed off. Things you shouldn't be while you're on the stand. It makes you a liability. And that makes it harder for you to do your job and focus and keep your wits about you. So, no, certainly, I mean, I think she understands how to be an attorney quite well. She wasn't good at being an attorney while in the middle of trying to wing being a star witness and settle a grudge on the witness stand. That was her problem. That was her real problem at the end of the day. I'm sure if she had just been sitting at the table, she could make arguments all day long until she gets mad, but all of us are that way. Screaming says you can just ask the phone company and they can give it, no expectation of privacy. Depending on some things, there are some times where you do need, you know, it's, I mean, there's multiple cases though, and like one of them is Carpenter v. United States, where you have to get cell tower history from wireless service that the police, the government must obtain a search warrant. Now, the one thing I'll point out is the government needs a warrant. But guess what? Who doesn't need a warrant to do things? Private parties. And I think that's a way of getting around the warrant requirement here, because I noticed that wasn't raised by Sadow and Merchant, but they can make the argument. I'm not the fucking government. I'm just me. I can go up to people and they can give me data and I don't need a warrant for it. The government might need to get a warrant in a situation, but the Fourth Amendment is only concerned about the government seizing information. It's not worried about private parties. So I do think there's a way around them, and for that regard, like is it carpet? Hold on. United States v. Carpenter. United States v. Carpenter. Yada 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 yada. Yeah, let's see here. Yes, yeah, cell site records under the Fourth Amendment to require warrant. Okay, I was right. It's Carpenter. Well, geez, 2018 case. Been a little while. It's been a while. So yeah, you could just ask the phone company and they can give it, but the police can't. Private parties are allowed to ask. Yes, Richie, they're like, yes. No, Bradley, they'll expect one of us in the records. But at this point, they kind of burned him, so it's not like he's a good brother anymore. So let's see here. Fanny can't stop, won't stop. Yes. Half Irish, just raise your hand if you're tired of being dicked around by politicians. Yeah, well, I think everybody is. Yep, J-Rock says subpoena. Yes, I agree. The subpoena is right, but the argument they're saying generally, it's like, that means you don't always need one in certain situations, but they're private parties. They're not the government, so they're not obligated to get a warrant. If they file a subpoena, it's a court order that's a valid way to legally obtain things. The prosecutor can't go subpoena shit left and right. They have to get warrants, but that's because they're the government, and we don't like the fucking government hoarding data. Private parties can hoard data as long as it's not illegal for them to hoard data. So there you go. Will Call says, why did she take the stand? Because they baited her. They put Nathan Wade up there and they started fucking attacking her. They played her. They took advantage of her ego. Ain't nobody talking shit about me. They knew exactly what the fuck they were doing because they've dealt with her. They know her. These attorneys know who she is. They fucking pushed all her buttons. Talking about her like she's some sort of hoe. Running around fucking hopping from dick to dick. Showering money all over her man, then running around drinking Cavassier as they ride around the back of a G-Wagon all over fucking Napa Valley, eating, gold foiled filet mignon and scrimps as much as possible. Yeah, they fucking went after her and they baited her into doing it. It was a brilliant fucking tactic. Because no, she came down there huffing and puffing and angry. They played her. They played her like it was a fucking episode of Matlock. They baited her up on the stand, and she took it. So that's why they did it. And that's, why did she take the stand? Because she got played. She got played. Yeah. Yeah. Little worse saying, wait, did Fani forget that Trump was the defendant when she brought up the search warrant thing? No, but they're just stuck. Remember, they're prosecutors, so they're stuck in the world of like, but wait, we have to use a warrant. How we always have to use a warrant? Why not you? Well, notice they said generally. So there's times where they probably haven't needed a warrant. Or maybe that's their way of saying, like, we haven't always gotten a warrant. We probably know we should have. I don't know. Given how this office is operating, wouldn't surprise me they started been doing shady shit. So Marjorie says if you allow the cops search, they don't need a warrant, but that's not what we're talking about. That data is different in that situation. Michelle says they plan to use her man. Yeah. That hearing, you guys watched that 2-day hearing, I think was entirely planned. They did that like Joker style. Everything was anticipated. I think Bradley doing as much assertion of privilege, I think they were going to wing that and go with it. But pretty much everything else was planned, and I'm assuming they knew Fani was going to come down that hallway, huffing and puffing and leaning on a table. I think they pretty much had it in their mind how that was going to shake out, more or less. So they definitely got her. So Kat says she ran out of her Spanx. Her gut was all hanging out, her boobs sagging to her belly. Well, I'll yeah. And then Stairway to Steven says, I wonder how this case will inform law school course in the future. Not as much as you think. There's a lot of good things out there, but there's, she'll maybe in ethics class, like, don't fucking bang your boyfriend. Don't like hire your boyfriend and give him a job as a contractor, like on a no big contract, and then do all kinds of sketchy shit. Like, yeah, maybe that'll be done, but that's probably the totality of it, if I had to guess. So, all right. So where are we at here now? Okay, sorry guys, I'm trying to call. Wait, let me get found viable. Okay, got two more. We got like 2 or 3 more stories, and we're almost done, guys. So this is from Axios, and this is not just there, but as other places have reported on it. And I'll just preface this, guys. When you go outside of America, the rules are fucking different everywhere you go. And if you're going to places that don't like America, watch your fucking ass. Okay? Absent diplomatic immunity or absent you holding a diplomatic passport, which allows you basically to do whatever the fuck you want. Watch your ass when you go to foreign countries. Watch your ass. Ask Brittany Griner. Ask all the people all over the world who get fucked with. Watch your ass. Also, shit, Rumble didn't. Is Rumble chat working, guys? Because it's frozen for me. Hold on, I gotta refresh it, I guess. Why is this not working? Hold on, I don't. What do I got here? Oh, only one Rumble chatter. Okay, because I'm like, because it's a goyim. Okay, so I guess there's only one person there. All right, I can work with that. I guess you're the first. It looks like you're the only one there, so that works. All right. So let's get to this. So an American, I don't know how you pronounce this. It's Russian. Ksenia, I don't know. Ksenia and then Carolina, I got that part, is detained while visiting family in Russia. Okay. I know. Oh no, it's Putin Voldemort's Putzler. Oh no. So, a Los Angeles woman who's detained in Russia is an esthetician and former ballerina. Oh, okay. Who cares if she's a ballerina? Why it matters. She has a dual U.S.-Russian citizenship, which Russia does not recognize dual citizenship. They only recognize her as a Russian citizen. She never renounced her Russian citizenship. Is the latest American to be detained in the country. Authorities arrested and charged her with treason for providing financial support to Ukraine. So Russia's Federal Security Service, the FSB, didn't, and they operate pretty much as like the FBI, did not publicly identify her. They accused her of providing financial assistance to a foreign state, thus conducting activities against the security of our country. So she, and the hotel where she works, for some reason, has this knowledge. I'm not sure how they have it. She was arrested for donating $51.80. That's a very weird amount. Unless they were also allowed to take out like percentage fees for processing, but that's a very weird amount, to Ukrainian charity in the United States. So her boyfriend said that she had traveled to her hometown of Yekaterinburg, which is actually kind of out there in Russia. It's she had been several years since she'd been back home, but she was not worried about going. She was like, I'm going to be fine. It is good. I am Russian. I am good. Apparently not so much, sweetheart. So she arrived. She was detained at her airport, and she was eventually released, but they kept her phone. Several weeks later, just before she was due to return, authorities had told her she was allowed to leave the country and could pick up her phone. It was their last conversation. The State Department declined to confirm her identity in response to a request from Axios. The U.S. was working to try to give her consular assistance, though it had not yet been granted. Well, the Russians may not recognize it if they don't consider her as a U.S. citizen, and only a Russian citizen. That's going to be a problem for her. So here's the issue. Is this right? No, it's wrong. But what happens when you go to a foreign fucking country, one that believes it's locked in a, well, so like the Ukrainians, I'm sure that if they had evidence, she was donating money to some Russian group, they'd probably put me in the fucking cell next to Gonzalo Lira. But regardless of that, why would you go to a country where you know the shit's going on, you're giving money to, and notice, we don't know what charity that she donated to, what organization she donated to, because maybe she doesn't know. How do we know that wasn't some sort of funding operation or laundering operation? Do I believe it's probably the case? No, it's probably just like give little hole kids like fucking pillows or something. Who knows? Probably is what it is. Yes, I said that. Deal with it out there. But you're going to do that and go to this country, you know that's going to piss them the fuck off. Like if I'm going to Russia, like I would bring like a separate phone with me, a clean phone. Like I don't know why you would risk that. Like there's stuff on my phone, this phone right here, that, like, because, you can back up and cloud store stuff on your phone and then you can re-upload it and sync phones. Apple's do it, Samsung's do it. There's so much shit on here. If I was going to a country where like they had rules about what you could and couldn't have, it could throw you in fucking jails and shit. Guess what I'm not bringing with me? Probably this motherfucker. Cell phones are fucking cheap. I get a fucking burner phone. I get whatever they call an Obama phone in Russia. Like a Putin phone. Whatever they call them. I would get a hold of one of those fucking things. What I wouldn't do is take my shit with me to a foreign country where they're going to fucking look through it all. I don't know why you would do that. I really don't know why. Like it's so fucking stupid. Why would you do this dumb shit? This is up there on the level of taking fucking drugs into Russia. Why would you take drugs into Russia? Well, she played a dumb fucking game. A Balm says, how about a Baofeng? If you tried to bring one of these into fucking Russia, you're probably getting arrested because they're thinking you're a fucking spy. They're also going to think you're fucking retarded. So no, I wouldn't take one of these anyway. But no, I would not bring like, UHF, VHF radios into a fucking foreign country. That is not a good look. Unless you could show you're part of some like thing where you need those. So do not fucking do that. Never. Garrett says, why are you yelling at me? Because you need to understand. Yeah. Sarcasm not detected. Yeah, sorry. Not detecting it. Sorry. Stacy said, I think New Zealand requires you to allow your phone to be inspected on entry. Yeah. So, like, if I go into New Zealand, guess what you can't have in New Zealand? The Christchurch shooting, where the guy walked in through there and just shot up the mosque. That's illegal to watch there. If you watch it, you go to prison. And they sent a man to prison for watching it, not distributing and downloading it. He watched it. Let's say you had that on your phone. You could go to prison for that, possibly. Would you want to sit in jail because of a fucking video you had on your phone? No, you wouldn't. So be very fucking careful about what you do when you go around the world. J-Rock says, well, she is in fact a Russian citizen. Garrett says, that's like $75 minus the fees. Well, if you're donating to a charity and they're taking 30% off the top, most of these Ukrainian charities are fucking scams. Anyway, but that's a whole nother story for another day. Place a way to get good intentioned morons to leave their money. Is that a transfer rate? Did she donate in rubles or euros or something? Or she could have donated in like the Ravina or whatever they call whole coin over there. I don't know what they call it because I don't really care. They name it something, and it's probably not going to last forever once the Poles and the Russians carve up Ukraine. But yeah, so that might turn out to be $51.08 if it's like some round number of like 35,000, Ukrainian dildo coins or whatever they call it. Yeah, she's Russian. Doesn't that guy's dual citizenship? Yep. Sean almost got 400 a stream. Read my chat while they're still lurking. Okay. Cassinia. Okay, there we go. Thank you, Pie Case. I'm not sure what you're... Yes, guys, please give me a like if you enjoy being here so far. I'd appreciate it. Yeah, spend $100 on a travel phone. Yeah, I don't... And Bulb says they also freak the fuck out if your phone is wiped beforehand. Yeah, well, that's why you... Yeah, so of course I have that downloaded. It's not downloaded on my phone, but I've watched it on my phone. So I don't know if that counts. Like, if they could find the metadata to show that I watched it on there and I come into their country and it's illegal, can I be charged? I don't know. I don't want to fucking find out either. So I have the Doom and John Wick edit on my phone. That would make the Kiwis very angry. I have seen both of those. Those are very funny. Pisshead says, whole coin. No. Whole. HOL. It is a derogatory term for Ukrainians. It's kind of like calling them an N-word. Actually, I don't think it's like calling Ukrainians nigger, but like they don't really like it. And when I say it on Twitter to people with Ukrainian flags and like gobbledygook shit in their name titles instead of like English words, they have all that weird fucking Cyrillic shit. They get really fucking mad, so it must be true. That's all I can say. GoFundMe, totally legit Ukraine aid, I promise. Organized by Ethan Ralfenko. Oh. I'm gonna get yeeted for gets he's on ScrewTube. We're like 3 hours in. We'll be all right. We'll be all right. Don't you worry. Don't you worry. Vodka says, I don't care the Russians win. I don't just want Ukraine to lose. The point is, Ukraine is a fucking shit-filled mud bog in Eastern Europe. What happens there is not going to affect the United States in any meaningful way in its security posture or its economic posture, except for the fact we will run out of a supply of mail-order brides who will come over seeking green cards and citizenship. That's really all we're missing. And then, yes, the members of our government won't have one less place they can send their children to get cushy jobs on Ukrainian corporations because Ukraine will cease to functionally exist as a nation. So they'll have to send their children to go be on the boards of companies in other former Russian areas, just not Ukraine. So, just saying. Just saying. Now, I will say, when I listen to people who support Ukraine, yes, when they're talking, I'm just thinking, I hope Kiev gets fucking glassed. Just to, like, shut them the fuck up. Like, they laugh every time something happens. Like, oh, Russian tank blew up. And I'm like, I just want to see fucking Kiev disintegrated. So I can go, haha. Because these are insufferable fucking people. But yes, just so you know out there, if you're pro-Ukraine and you're obnoxious enough, there are people who just stop because you're encouraging me just to think, I want to see a nuke go off. David Jower says Azov was accepting donations for a while. Yes, it was. So, all right. So that's out of the way here. This one here is really fucked up story. So, a woman named Tabitha Smith drowned in a police car. What happened? She'd been arrested because she got into a fight, and she was arrested by a guy who made his first arrest. And while he was driving to the jail, he texted his wife like, "Oh my God, I guess I got my first arrest. Holy cow." And then he lost control and drove into a river, and they both drowned. They couldn't find him. Well, they since found the car, and if you go on to various websites and places, it's like, oh, brave police officer and a watch. It was so sad, and he was a peacekeeper. Glossing over the fact that he was texting while driving like a fucking asshole and killed someone over it. He murdered a woman by his shitty driving. He committed vehicular manslaughter. And nobody gives a shit about her. She was presumed innocent where the fuck she did anyway. And she drowned in the back of a police car because this guy was a fucking idiot. I mean, that's scary. Like, you're dealing with a guy who's so fucking stupid, he drove into a fucking river. Like, that would scare the shit out of me. Getting arrested. Hopefully you're not driving with a guy who's going to go like, oh, and just like park in front of a train tracks. But yes, as he made a call to his dispatch saying, water, blah, 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 blah. I mean, did he try shooting it? Maybe that was the problem. He's like, step back, I'll start shooting. And he just started shooting the water. Like, they told me this would work in the academy. Just start shooting at things. So, yes, you know, Tabitha Smith was found in the back of the car. And this was just so fucking awful what happened to her. And you know, they found the car, and actually I think there's a good picture of the car here. So where's a good picture of it? Yeah, here we go. Here's a picture of what they fucking found. They found the car, and he gone in the river, and they yanked it out, and they found these people in it dead. So, Yeah, the whole brave police officer, and he got the police officer funeral, and everybody came out supporting the Timbu wine because he protected us when he's not killing us. But you know what? He was a brand new cop, and he already figured out a secret: just kill people, and people and the public will love you. So, I guess good for him. Good for him. But his first arrest ever. She had a family. She had a husband and 2 kids. Now this part here, she had a heart of gold, and despite any struggles she had, she was a great person. Sounds like she was acting up when she got arrested. That doesn't excuse the fact she got arrested, but they don't say this if you were like truly like a nice person. That smells like 48 hours. I hope they remember my name and she's not just the girl in the back seat. Well, to a lot of the news, that's how they're treating it. So this is the deputy who drove his car into the water like a rock star. Full send there, bro. And yeah, here's the video of the car getting towed out, and this is them looking for it, and they, and the chief's like, he'd only been here for months, but he'd become part of our family. He was so brave. Like, it said he died, but weren't you like, wow, he was a fucking asshole and killed an innocent lady. He graduated, and yeah, and like I said, it sucks he's dead, but I don't feel bad for him. He's texting while driving, and like, oh, the police have the right to do that. Okay, he killed a person. That should be the first thing that gets noticed, but it won't be. It won't be the first thing that gets noticed. And this lady had to sit in the back and fucking drown while she's handcuffed. And that's the thing. She can't even have a chance. She didn't have a fucking chance. Because of that dumb fucker. She didn't have a fucking chance. And like, I get it. She's not curing cancer. She's not, helping us figure out interstellar space travel. But she shouldn't have drowned in the back of a fucking police car. Because of this guy. Like, okay, but still. Kind of shitty. So. They do point out that she was pulled out of the car. The officer's body was found hours later near the location where the car was removed. So it sounds like he almost got out and drowned swimming away or something, which once again, somebody got a chance to get out. It wasn't her. So yeah, it's a hard time for us. Something we don't ever deal with here in Meigs County. What, that the police killing people wrongfully or losing officers? Because I'm sure the police wrongfully killing people isn't something the community has to deal with a lot either. But they're fucking dealing with it right now. So, that's the thing. They're saying like, well, he could have hit the water quickly. Well, that should have been paying fucking attention. Maybe he shouldn't have been texting while driving. I don't know, but we're operating on a theory it was an accident. Yes, an accident where he wrongfully caused someone's death. Just saying. And it sucks because he's got a wife and kids too, but this is his fault. I mean, that sucks, but oh well. But it's so fucked up. I mean, this article's great, but like if so many other places like brave officer dies, and it's like fucking A. Stacy said, I wonder how big the settlement will be. I don't know. Tabakai is saying, I can tell the woman was white because you haven't heard the story before. How do they drive it into the river? Because there's probably a spot where the road is there that's them dragging the boat or the car to a place where they could tow it out. That's not like he drove down the boat. Like, it's not like he drove through the park, down the boat ramp, and then into the water. He probably went off the road into the water somewhere else. I name some sources F for the proud Vic that served honorably, unlike others. Can I enhance that? Sorry, it wasn't Sure Fuck says, did he try to put his knee down on the water's neck? Yeah. That was the other thing. He's like, it's not working. Starts screaming at the water, stop resisting. And Seven Screams says, Seven Screaming Dizbusters. It's good to see you. Thank you for being here. Saying face piercing and tat sleeves. Yeah, but people still have the right to live and not get murdered by the police. They have that right. They have that right. I'm just saying. So that's a right they all have. My rule is once you become a state actor, you aren't a human. Okay, well, that can be much. That can be much there. But the cop unlocked your door before he bailed. Yeah, I'm sure he did. We're going to do that next. We're going to end on that one because it's great. Kimbo says he quietly muttered a gamer word as his last breath. Yes. All right, guys, this is the fun one. This is a great video. We're going to do this. And it's, what better, instead of, police brutality isn't good, but there is one kind of police brutality that actually is good. And that's when the police start beating on each other. Rightfully or wrongfully, I actually enjoy that because that's the best kind of brutality. So this is going to be good. Let me hold on here. All right. So going to sit up here high above. Kimmy says, what about the Arizona extradition case? I need to do a little more reading on that because it looks like there's a little bit more to it. But I can bring that up at another time, Kimmy. I'm sorry. Or we can bring it up on Locals. I can do something about it, but I haven't had a chance to fully read it. And it looks like there's a lot more to it that I haven't. Yeah, and like I said, we're getting to being on over almost 3.5 hours. So I apologize, but we'll get to it. Okay. So this is in New Jersey. And yeah, here we go, guys. I have seen this. This is fucking good. You're going to want to fucking listen. All right.
Just pull that up and put it to the shoulder. Yeah. Thanks. What is it? The RMA?
I am not the police, okay? I came here with the ambulance. I want to make sure you're okay.
I don't know what he's in. I don't know. I'm asking you if he's RMA or not. Oh, yeah, no. What? Yeah.
I get that. I'm not saying you aren't. I just want to make sure your head is okay. You have no other injuries that we need to be aware of.
I can't get any.
Can you tell me your first name at least?
Why do you got a jacket on that's not fit to be worn? What's on the back of it?
What do you mean?
Look at the, tell me what's on the back of it.
Oh, they washed off.
Yeah, then get rid of it.
Okay.
That's ridiculous.
Okay.
You're a sergeant for God's sake.
Okay, Chief. Let me work this DWI, okay? Chief, I'm on a DWI.
Over
Chief,
here.
I'm on a DWI.
Get over here.
I'm on a DWI.
So the chief's off duty, and he's like, "Why isn't your stuff all set up, dude?" He's like, "Where's your jacket? The writing on your jacket is gone." The cop's like, "Fine, fuck it. I'll throw the jacket away. Let me do my job, boss." "No, come here right now." It's like, "But I'm working." It gets better, guys. Let's keep.
Chief, I'm working. I don't have time to argue about a jacket, okay? Don't you touch me. Don't you touch me. Don't you fucking touch me. You have a problem? Chief, I'm working. I don't have time to argue about a jacket, okay?
The boss is grabbing him by his arm, right? Here we go. We're gonna back this down a little slower here. This is good. Here we go. Here we go. This is gonna be some good stuff. This is exciting to watch, guys. Yeah, goalie, he should have just complied. Comply next time. So here we go. This is going to be... We're going to watch this slow-mo.
Don't you touch me. Don't you touch me. Don't you fucking touch me. You have a problem?
That's awesome. Don't you fucking touch me. To be fair, he's trying to work. You don't fucking touch the cops. That's never a good idea. We're going to back that up, though, and watch it in real time again.
Chief, I'm working. I don't have time to argue about a jacket, okay? Don't you touch me. Don't you touch me. Don't you fucking touch me. You have a problem? You grabbed me. Now get out of here before you get a problem.
Take him in. Take him.
No, you're going to go in.
Take him in.
Drunk again. Whose keys are these?
They're mine.
Notice it's like, oh, he's drunk again. And I bet he reeks of fucking alcohol. And now, to be fair, do you think we would have all got that same kind of treatment? No. Not in a place like, not really anywhere like that. You come up and grab a cop while he's trying to work on shit. You think you're getting that kind of treatment? Just roughed up a little bit and told to go home? Ain't happening to you. But he's drunk again.
Get out of here.
No.
Chief, get out of here or you're going to get locked up.
No,
Chief, you're going to get locked up. You grabbed me. I asked you 3 times to leave me alone. You're obstructing my DWI.
Billy, come over here.
Let him go.
That's the first thing. Billy,
I'm trying to get away from everybody.
Shut up, because you're in trouble now. Stop,
No, I'm not
please,
in trouble.
Stop,
I'm not in
stop,
trouble.
stop.
You're going to be in trouble.
Stop,
You're gonna be
Billy,
in trouble.
Billy.
Chief, I'm
Billy,
working at DWI.
I'm listening to you.
Okay.
Shut up.
No.
You're in trouble because this is the first thing. First of all, I was about to say to you, you stupid. I was about to say to you, what do you need OEM for?
You're embarrassing me in front of the men about the jacket.
No. That's neither here nor there.
Okay.
That's neither here.
That's actually a big thing here. This is not how you instill confidence that to the subordinates that they should listen to the people above them. This is a travesty. This is how you break down authority in these organizations, by having a lush dumb fuck as a chief.
Now we got a real fucking problem, Billy.
Yeah, we do.
I know.
We do.
All right, you're gonna have to go inside.
No, how about we do this?
No.
But we go inside.
Billy, you're gonna have to go inside right now with me. You're gonna have to go inside and
we're in a serious collision.
Billy, you're not doing anything when I'm on the scene, okay? You should know better than this, my friend.
No.
Listen
You
to me.
grabbed me.
No, I said,
You were out
come
of
over
line.
here.
You were out of line. You grabbed me. It's on video.
Billy,
It's on video. I'm not going to argue with it. I have a crash to work.
Billy,
I have a job to do.
You're
okay?
relieved. Billy, you're relieved.
Okay.
You're
I'll go
relieved.
home.
I just want him to fucking tase him. Normally, I'm not a fan of police brutality, but like, pull out your fucking baton and give him a fucking hickory shampoo, dude. Come on. Tase him. Do the things you would do to normal people. Although, I'll give this guy some credit. He does sound like he's not afraid to arrest another cop. Although, maybe it sounds like he's only doing that to his asshole drunk boss, but yeah.
No. Billy, you have to understand something. You're relieved. Billy, you're relieved. Go home in the headquarters and wait for me.
Yeah, so my crash.
No, Billy, you're relieved.
I have
Billy.
officers here,
Billy,
right here. They
Billy.
could get waffle because my car is
Billy.
blocking it.
Billy, you're relieved.
No, Chief.
No, Billy, please, Billy, don't. You're
Just fucking walk away from him at this point. If he turns around, fucking drop him. Just walk away, dude.
suspended, Billy.
I'm
You're
suspended?
Yes.
Okay, then I'm suspended. I'm going home.
Yes. Billy, come here.
I'm going home.
No,
we can't talk. I'm suspended.
No.
No, I'm suspended. I'm
You're
going
to headquarters
home.
and you're going to wait for me there.
No, I'm not. I'm suspended.
You're going
I'm going home.
I do like that. He's like, I'm suspended with pay. All right, fine. Fuck you. I'm going home, following the rules. I can't talk to you. You suspended me. I got to follow my procedures. I got to contact my union rep. Like, I'll give this guy credit for that. That is fucking hilarious.
Go in the headquarters and wait for me there.
Let me work my crash.
No,
this is why I'm here.
Billy, you're suspended.
All right, if I'm suspended, then I'm not going to wait inside. Nothing more.
No, Billy. You have to. Let me explain something to you. Billy, you're suspended.
Okay.
This is the New Jersey, guys.
Billy,
Yes.
right now.
Okay.
Wait for me in there. That's an order.
Can you do me a favor? Can you put your car where my car is so our officers and first aid don't get run over, please?
I got you.
Thank you.
Billy's suspended. Over here. You see what happened there?
Yes, Chief.
What happened?
Okay, this time where this guy's going to figure out if he's a fucking shitbag or, well, I mean, he's still a cop, but are you a lying cocksucker or are you just a cocksucker?
There's some type of exchange between.
You fucking pussy, you won't even admit to your boss you're out of fucking line. Pussy motherfucker. You could never rely on that guy. I don't care, you're working at fucking Home Depot.
You and Sergeant
Major, we're going to talk about that later. Everybody's got that. Billy's suspended. You really got this. What do you got here? What do you have?
we're trying to figure that out, Chief.
Go on, Billy. Go on.
I mean, in there.
Yes, we're going to meet you in there. Go and put the dog in right now.
There's nowhere to put her. She's going to ruin things.
Okay, we'll leave her in there. So go in.
I'm going. I got people on the road. I want to make sure they're safe. I want to run you over, so watch out.
No. Come on. Go ahead. You know I love you. Come on.
I know. What? What's wrong with you?
Billy.
Why would you do that to me?
Stop. Billy. Stop. You got enough problems already. Please.
Okay.
Oh, he's the drug dog cop. Okay. Brave drug warrior. Oh, well. I thought that guy was going to be good, but apparently he's the drug dog cop. So, no, it's New Jersey. The horrible state it is. These guys are probably Joe's neighbors. Yes. Stop resisting. Yes. Yes, do not touch me. Well, I'm sure that kind of caught him out like that. Yes, Officer Baldo. Goalie says only that dude's wife usually sees New Balances up in the air like that. Yes, the chief is a drunk. Yes, from reading the story, it looks like he's a habitual drunkard, and immediately that officer he got suspended. But like when everybody else realized what happened, they're like, the city was like, nope, you're back on the, like, they immediately reinstated him. He probably settled with them, and that chief has been on leave and has resigned since then. And that guy makes $200,000 a year. So yeah, the chief drive himself. Yeah, that's the funny thing. They got that guy running around. Is running around with car keys in a state like, I'm surprised the cops aren't like, oh, your access to your car, it's a DUI. They let him do it. They let him walk around like that. Yeah. Chief, you could have pulled guard. Yeah. All cops are drunk. No, not in front of the men. That's actually a serious thing, though. That is a real that's a real deal. That's a real issue. You know, to have command authority, to have superior, like a higher level person undermine somebody that's in the middle in charge of like the lower ranks or lower people below you, even just like a regular job. If you're a supervisor and your manager is fucking with you, that undermines your authority. It can cause all kinds of problems. Bella says he'll get to retire with a full pension. I'm sure he does. Yeah, he gets to retire before he gets fired, and it's all quietly put together. Fuck's sake, every other message you type is getting deleted. Sorry. Like I said, it's not me. The irony of this happening at the scene of a DWI. Yes, it is very, very funny. Oh, okay. There are some of you guys over on Rumble. Okay. I'm good that you guys are there. Where are we? So where are we at here? It's what town? Bradley Beach, New Jersey. The unions will have a heyday with the guy. They already said the guy got reinstated. I checked that out a little bit. So, which side am I picking? The sergeant, but still, like, not by much. Walter says yes. Walter Malone's like, imagine you're the guy who got a DUI or getting pulled over by the cops, and all this dumb shit happens to you. It's like, yeah, or you're the victim of, like, you're the guy who got hit by the drunk driver. And you're sitting there, and your car's like fucking totaled, and the cops are fucking fighting each other while you're like, I want to get my car towed and I want to go home because I'm very upset right now. And these cops are drunk and fighting each other. It's like, oh yeah, that's so funny. I love you, man. I love you, man. Okay, Billy, now let's be gay. Merce Turf says what happened to those two. Well, the officer got reinstated. That wasn't an issue there. He acted, that wasn't an issue. Let's see if there's actually a news article on this. Okay, yeah, there is. Okay, here we go. There's let me see if I can find an actual. Yeah, here we go. Okay, we got an article we can read. It's so weird all this shit happens in the Daily fucking Mail, but okay. Boy. Apparently they got a license to report on us Americans. So, cop shows after she showed up drunk. I think it's funny, Sergeant Major. That's funny for having your name like that, but so this happened on November 9th, and it was a body cam obtained by the Bradley Beach Police Department. Okay. So where does it get to the rest of the story here? Okay. So yeah, he removed the jacket. He's trying to do his job. So yeah, there's the brave chief. So this is the guy who whooped his ass. There's the sergeant. Look at those tattoos. And then there's the chief. Look at these guys are fucking. They got like a little beach background at their office. That just looks so gay. So the county prosecutors out there investigated him. He was placed on leave in December and has yet to return to work. He gets paid $174 a year. Oof. Yeah. They don't say what happened to the guy. He should have been like immediately reinstated. Yeah, well, Major is returned to work full-time for the department. I'm sure he got investigated and was immediately cleared because he shouldn't have been suspended, and I'm sure that he's got a nice chip he can cash in the future. Should anything happen to him because he was illegally suspended and went through all that, I'm sure he's got some favors now he can rely on. So I'm sure he should be good to go in that regard. So it's fucking embarrassing, yeah. So the chief get fired or what? Not yet. It seems like he's not technically fired. Yes, the tin blue wine. The tin blue wine. It's so tin. You know, you actually think the blue lines from when they do those tampon commercials, it's like the blue liquid gets on the tampon strings. That's what the thin blue line really is. So Bella's saying, dude's got the transfer immediately. I don't think he will. Because it sounds like the chief is out. Okay, I'll talk to you later about that, Charlie. Let's see here. Chief was 5x away from giving Billy a nut shot. Yeah, he probably was. Oh, thought Shaw was praying he just has a tie on. What? So look like. Is it my hands? Is it not? Or do I have extra hands? Oh no! I like how the cops are lined up tallest to shortest. Yes. It's near Asbury Park, New Jersey. Okay. Because I'm Batman says their hats are gay too. That's a thing in New Jersey. They all wear those fucking hats, and a bunch of them wear like they wear the fucking I'm invading Poland thing, the Sam Brown belt. You know, they look like they're about to invade Poland. Like that's a normal thing. They definitely had a gay encounter together in Atlantic City. Hey, all kinds of room for gay encounters in Atlantic City. Just saying. But you know, if you're looking for a place that's cheaper than Vegas, Atlantic City is not bad. President-elect Phil Swift says extra hands means more Dracos. Yes, it does. Make them wear pickle habas. Yeah, that's funny. Sean calls his tie Kawato. That's yes. Yes. Damn it, Koiga, give the people the air. They need to breathe. Or he's like, give the people the air, let them breathe, Koigan. Yes, Tracy, you're right. Tracy, you know, thank God you're bringing this up, Tracy. The tactical acorns. Fucking acorn would have fallen in the middle of that thing. They would have just shot up the whole neighborhood. Thank God. Whew, that is very. You are very. That's. I'm not being asked. That's. Holy shit! People could have got hurt that night. So, 3.5 hours, guys. Wow, we are having some fun tonight. But I think we are. You know what? No, fuck it. We're here. Kimmy Joe, you brought up that you brought it up. We're gonna look at it. You brought it up. We're gonna watch it before we're done. We're gonna read this article and we're gonna stop then. But you brought it up to me. I'm looking at it. You promised me. Yeah. Yeah, we're gonna pull Ralph. Going all night. Gotta meet the goals though. I don't really have a goal down at the bottom here, but you know, I'll draw on the camera and I'll have a little bar and I'll just like wee. Need the super chats rolling in, chat. I need you need to help support it. Yes, it's in the sector. Gazi said I'm gonna answer my phone for a week. Yeah. Yeah, you told me I'm suspended, so I like so he noticed it's probably with pay. So it's like, what are you doing? I'd fuck off for a week. I probably would too. Oh. So this you answer the question. I just did answer the question. You answer the question. Yes, I promise to not stop streaming until we get to 100,000 subscribers. I guess I'll be doing this till I die. And then afterwards. All right. So this was sent, and somebody told me to talk about this. We're going to do it tonight. We're doing it tonight. I hope you're still here. If you're not and you've already left, I am so sorry. I hope you're still here. Let me see. Are you still here? Can you say yes? Because I feel bad if I do this now. You're going to be like, that motherfucker. I put it up and then he says later and then he changes his mind and does it. You're going to be like, and then I'm going to go to the post office and I'm going to get a package that ticks. So I don't want to. No, Kimmy, you're still here? Good. Okay, good. All right. I just wanted to make sure you were here. Okay, so let's see this thing. Okay, so Arizona refusing to extradite a hotel murder suspect to New York. The Republican prosecutor claims it's safer to not send back Rad Al-Mansouri in custody pending charges for stabbing 2 women. Well, he stabbed 2 women, but maybe they deserved it. I mean, I'm just saying. Like they might need it. And this is the prosecutor. So a Republican prosecutor in Arizona has refused to extradite a murder suspect in New York, claiming it's safer not to send him back because of the state's supposed treatment of violent criminals. Oh. So the Maricopa County looks like district attorney or the prosecutor, which if she's a prosecutor in Maricopa County, go fucking round up your board of elections and throw them in fucking prison, please, for the love of God. You know, I don't care if you like start doing some of those Pepe shit. Just do something. Just saying. So the attorney for Maricopa County, which includes most of Phoenix, is holding the suspect in custody for stabbing 2 women. The New York District Attorney, Alvin Bragg, wants to extradite him for the murder of Denise Aranciba. I don't know. God, that's probably a Puerto Rican lady. 38, who was found beaten to death in Soho's 54 hotel earlier this month. Al-Mansouri is accused of having fled the city after a brutal crime and fleeing to Arizona, where he's arrested. Days later... Okay, I think this guy's got a problem with stabbing women because he goes to stab some woman in New York. He's like, I'm on the run. What am I going to do? He gets off the plane. Some people are like, God, I got to have a smoke. Walking out into the, where can I smoke? And he's just like, I got to fucking stab a bitch. Where can I stab one? Come on. I need to find me a bitch to stab. It's like, dude. Stabs a woman in a McDonald's bathroom. That's a whole new level of wanting to get at women. I mean, Coach Red Pill would be like, yeah. He'd be like, yeah, you stab them dogs. So the battle is because she says, having observed the treatment of violent criminals in the New York area by the Manhattan DA, I think it's safer to keep him here and keep him in custody. To be fair, it's not like she's denying extradition in the sense of he's a fleeing fugitive. And the traditional idea of extradition, like, I commit a crime here in Cleveland and I run Chicago. Oh, fuck, I ain't running, okay? Like, no, I ain't running. I'll be dead before I leave the house. But the idea is I hop in my car and hide in Chicago and they find me there. I haven't committed a crime yet, but they arrest me on a warrant. Ohio can request my extradition back. This is different. He's committed a crime in Arizona. They have the right to keep him. They have jurisdiction over his body, not only because there's a warrant, but he committed a crime in their jurisdiction. So she can keep him anyway. She's just being, I'll give this woman credit. This is fucking masterful trolling. Because if they give him back, they're never going to get him again. Because if they give him back to New York, they're going to hold on to him until they're done with him. They won't give him back. So fuck it, we're prosecuting him first. Now, after they're done prosecuting, I'm sure they'll be like, yeah, fuck it, take him to New York. But that's the issue there. So this is all political and it's politically motivated. But she's like playing a game with inside the rules. Like nothing can happen here because she has the right to keep this guy. But like I said, this is just fucking brilliant. This is a bro fist moment right here. This is a bro fist moment. So a spokesperson for the prosecutor's office called deeply disturbing DA Mitchell's playing political games in a murder investigation. You know, New York's murder rate is less than half of that of Phoenix. Yeah, but they have the right to keep a violent criminal suspect in their own custody. Okay, great. I didn't read this yet, but here we go. Boom. All pending matters in Arizona will be resolved first before extradition to the outside state courts. See, this is the real issue here. All this shit right here is this woman trolling the fuck out of Alvin Bragg. And you know what? Rock on, girlfriend. Baby girl's telling Alvin Bragg to go fuck himself. And, you know, that's hilarious. That is fucking hilarious to me. It's a slap in the face to the victim in our cause to allow him to seek justice and full accountability and for New Yorker's death. Well, it's like, you'll get him later. That's fucking brilliant. I love that. This is all just a fucking troll. All just trolling. So now they found out, the police say a part-time sex worker, meaning a hooker, which just like in all jobs have deadly, hazards. You're working on a crab boat, you might get pulled off and drowned in the water. You start hooking, you might get beat to death. Like, hooker gets killed with a blunt object crushing in their skull. News at 11. Like, that happens all the time. I mean, before guns, I'm sure that happened a lot. Hookers getting their skulls stoved in. She was killed in a hotel by blunt force trauma to the head. A broken clothes iron was found at the scene. Ooh, that's not a good way to go. When I was in college, it's only freshman year, these girls were roommates, and one of them, like, I don't know if she had schizophrenia break out on her or something happened to her. She lost her shit. She attacked her roommate with an iron and beat the fuck out of her with it. Obviously, that girl ended up getting removed. I think she ended up going to prison or the mental hospital. The girl who got beat up she came back to school like in the spring, and she got known as Iron Girl for that. But then the crazy chick came back. I had heard stories of the crazy chick had tried to come back. But yeah, like from what I do know somebody who was an alright thing. It's like the fucking iron fucked like that girl up bad. Like a clothes iron though, just one of those things, just bam, I'll press your fucking sheets for you. Just like I guarantee you that was not a nice crime scene. So the FBI and New York police are thinking that he committed other crimes in Florida and Texas, where he's lived and has been arrested. Well, I'm sure this isn't his first time beating and stabbing women. I'm sure he's got a history of it. So he was arrested in Arizona, allegedly driving a stolen car. The suspect told officers, "You should Google Soho 54 Hotel." Oh no, that is so funny. That is so funny. Well, so that's the thing here. So there was an extradition issue, but it's just a fucking troll. It's a fucking troll. It's a troll job. Well, that's the thing. Yeah, New York would release them, but this is just a game. It's all a game there. Carrie says no cash bail in MIC. Yeah, but for a murder, I think it's that wouldn't be an issue. That would not be an issue. I just realized I can AI Sean's tie into a dick. I'm sorry in advance. I should not do this. Do what you got to do. She probably bit him. Does not qualify for health care. Vote Donald J. Trump for circuit court judge in Illinois. Yeah. Yeah, she got starched. She got pressed and steamed. So, I'm honoring Sean with the black fist. Thank you. So, yeah, like I said, guys, remember, articles are great and they sound scandalous, but then you open up and you're like, she's just prosecuting the dude. Like, she's going to do that. It's like, you're like, okay. Kind of allowed to do that. So, all right, guys, give me one more second. I'll be right back. I got to pay the water bill. Then we'll close up. Son of a bitch. It's still fucking asleep. Ow. It's not good. Sorry, my foot's fucking asleep. It's still driving me crazy. So people getting mean in the chat. Under a bucket, no. Jim sneaking out. All right. Well, oh, hold on. Is it hot? Oh, sorry. Why is it so fucking whatever? So, guys, yeah, that's it. We're all set. Sorry, I couldn't wait. I've been waiting a while. Tomorrow at 4, I'm going on with Hella. We're gonna talk about the Treehouse guy. Like I said, I'm not gonna be on there when Tyrone's on there. Like I said, I wish that guy nothing but the best of luck. I can't recommend him doing it. So I feel like it's probably a little more better for me. I would argue just being a professional attorney not to do that. So we'll also be doing Michelle Trakunas tomorrow. We got to get that wrapped up and caught up because the trial's done. Defense rested today. It's all done. So, yeah, we're all set. We are going to also go over some of the Richard Allen stuff coming up. I got to figure out if I'll do that tonight or, well, not tonight, but tomorrow or Sunday. I'm not sure. But Monday, I am home all day. I got an appeal I got to finish up. But I'm going to do that. But we are going to do Hannah Reid day 3. You got me all day. Like Joe Rogan's like, all day. So we're going to do that up. Yeah, Stabby, you said, do you see the video? I did see that video. That is, remember what Sam Hyde said, dude? You got a female cop at your door, man. You better have your bulletproof vest on. You know, because they're going to kill you. They're going to kill you. If they feel slightly scared, you're dead. So we can watch that at another point, but I don't. It's like 2:50. I'm done. I got to take a break. So, but yeah, thanks everybody here, everybody out in Rumble, locals, Kick, Twitch. 305 people watching, guys. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. I appreciate the support. All you guys watching, just being out there throwing comments down. You guys, oh wow, it's just like Mofog and Valvis over in Rumble talking. But thank you so much. And guys, thank you for all the super chats. I appreciate all of that. Goalie is a new member. Thank you, Goalie. I appreciate that support very, very much. I am going to be working on, and I need to get it done. That might be tomorrow too. I gotta figure out, I'm going to do this tomorrow because I owe you members stuff, and I'm trying to work on more stuff for you. We are going to go through Brian Laundrie's dad's deposition tomorrow. We're going to do that. We're going to do that for the members here on YouTube, and you guys will get to see it. And yeah, it's not very flattering, so it makes sense why there was a settlement. But we'll cover that. And I promise to get that done for you guys. So, God, there's so much shit to do. There's not a fucking time. Fuck, it's almost starting to becoming are we going to get a week recap on the Tracunas trial? We're going to skip around to some spots because there's parts of it that are good, parts of it that aren't, I've been told, and we're going to really kind of jump around. Because, yeah, we've already seen the state's evidence at this point. It's not very good. So that is it, guys. Thank you for being here. I appreciate it. And so it's not Thursday. I'm not going to use the catch line. But I will see you guys around. I'm your third favorite law tuber behind Legal Eagle and Legal Bites. Hey, that's okay. I'll take third place. I'll take third place. So good night, you guys. Take care, and I will see you tomorrow. Well, I'll see you later today, but after I've had some sleep. Take care, everybody. Bye.